Peace, y'all. It's your boy Vinny, Venom, man. The Commission Cypher, episode 15. We live and direct here in the Hydro Bar. Shouts to everybody. Shouts to everybody that's tuned in. If you ain't tuned in live, appreciate y'all tuning in on the on-demand side. We up here, man. I know we took a couple weeks off, you know what I'm saying? Recalibrating, doing a few things, so we're glad to be back. But I got a special guest in here that I'm going to introduce y'all here in a minute. Episode 15, man. Please make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, dislike, whatever interaction y'all want to put on the page. Make sure you put on the page. We just crossed over to 70K since we started the channel, man. So salute to that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's been supporting, man. We're about to hit a year, so I'm excited. We're gonna do a little celebration to hit that year, that 12-month joint. But man, we here, man. The Commission Cypher. We got some couple things we hear in the Hydro Bars. I tell y'all all the time, man. Make sure that y'all stay hydrated. Make sure that y'all hydrate differently, but also just make sure in general that you stay hydrated. It's getting into the colder, the cooler months, but it's still important to stay hydrated. So shout out to my partners at the Hydro Bar. Salute Tim, Junior, Senior, Julie, the whole staff. But we here, man. Episode 15, we locked in. Producer T-Rap, what's good, man? How you?
Big chillin'. Always,
Okay.
you know.
Nice little break, right?
It was a good break.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
You know, but we making moves everywhere else. So, you know, we ain't really taking a break.
That's a good point. That's a good point. We moving, though. We moving. But,
Exactly.
I appreciate you being up here, Producer T-Rap. We got some exciting shit coming. So we're going to do season 2 starting at the 1-year anniversary. So this is the 15th episode, right? So we breaking things into kind of seasons. So season 2 is going to look a little different. We're still going to be in the Hydro Bar doing our thing, but different topics. You're going to hear us hit on different things. So I'm excited about revamping for season 2. You know what I'm saying? So hydrobar.io is the website. If y'all want a free membership, make sure you tag myself, Vinny _ or is it Vinny.Venom? Vinny _ Venom? Vinny _ Venom. T-Rap, what's your social?
That kid, T_Rav, RAV.
Grizz, what's your
That's
socials?
Grizzly.
That's Grizzly.
That's _Grizzly.
Dope. Hell yeah. So and then we gonna tag the rest of the crew on it too. So if y'all want a free membership, just tag us. We'll give y'all, a week or two to come in here, taste the water out, see the machines in here. Just get educated on what alkaline water is, right? So we always talk about it, man. No disease can stay alive in an alkaline environment, right? So that's fruits, veggies, and water. So we just want to educate y'all, make sure y'all getting hydrated properly. So come see us. And if you walk in, just come through, just tell them Vinny and the crew sent you, all right? So couple of housekeeping items before we jump into my guest and our show today. Commission Cypher merch is coming soon. Shout out to everybody that's been asking about us. We got some hoodies coming. We also got some long sleeve joints like this. So we got them coming probably mid-November. So be on the lookout for that. Also, Sirius XM every Friday night, the Drama Hour. We still banging out, man. Shout out to my Sirius XM fans. Shout out to Quincy, Kalani. Shout out to my brother Papoose. We're the top rated show on Sirius XM's Rock the Bell. So salute on that, man. Shout out to everybody that's been tuned in on demand. Shout out to Pap. He got that new record out now, Counting Green, featuring Busta Rhymes and Khadijah. We just hit fucking
hundreds of videos.
Bro, insane, bro. We just hit like 1.4 milli on the video. So shout out to Win Records. We got an album coming out on Halloween, man. So I've been working. We took a little bit of a break, but, we always working behind the scenes. But we got a dope project that I ain't going to spill the beans right now, but I'm going to just tell y'all it's something different. And it's something that y'all going to really enjoy it, man. It's a dope concept. So we got that rocking. And then what's everything I need to plug, man? Fuck it, man. If it comes to mind, then we'll roll with it. You know what I'm saying? But appreciate y'all being in the building.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see
How's
you,
everything
bro.
with you, man?
Shit, it's been good. Last time I was here, I had a fucking stomach issue.
Yeah, that was right. That was when we had
badass cramps in the.
Who we have up here? Mark the Dark.
Mark the Dark. Yeah.
Shout out to
the
Mark
boy.
the Dark.
Yeah, most def. But I left early. I was in bad shape, bro. But I ain't been here since then. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. Yeah. Feel good. Yes, sir.
I'm glad
yes,
you're back up here, man.
Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
So yeah, we gonna jump. We got some topics to hit on. A lot of shit going on, man. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Like the same players seem to be in the mix, but there's some interesting shit going on. So I'm excited to talk with y'all about it, get y'all thoughts about it. But I got a special guest up here today, man. Episode 15 ringing off. I got somebody here, man, that I respect on multiple different levels. First and foremost, I respect him on a being a father, 2 young kids, grinding, always being, he's always just been. He's a father first and foremost, right? But a lot of fathers sometimes ain't present, right? But this man is present despite all the things that he be doing, right? Secondary, he's an incredible MC. He's been working on some new things that I'm excited to talk about, but talk a little bit about his history, man. But I got my boy GIZ in the spot. What's up, G?
Hey, what's up, man?
How you, man?
Good,
Appreciate you
bro.
coming through, man.
Glad to be
Good
here.
to have you, man. You know what I'm saying? Long time coming. But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming up, right? Thanks for coming up. And
appreciate you having me.
yeah, man. Shit. I always say this to everybody that come up here, and I mean it. My platform is your platform. So anytime you got something coming out, whether it's a video, an EP, an album, or if you just want to get something off your chest, you know what I'm saying? You come up here and we bang the fuck out. You know what I'm saying?
So, that, man.
So, but yeah, man. I want to talk to you a little bit about your journey, obviously as an MC, your journey as a man, but also all the stuff you got going on. Because I know you cooking with a family member up here. Shout to DJ Jason. You know what I'm saying? He was up here a couple of weeks ago. Yo, I don't know if y'all saw, but I don't think it was the last episode we did.
Yeah, it was the one that you didn't show up for. But
I showed up at 2.
Oh yeah.
Did you tell him?
no.
Yeah, bro, peep this shit.
Nah.
So in
He put 2 p.m. Eastern, and I like a bonehead. I looked at it and I was like, bet I could sleep in. And I walked in, and Julie was like, I looked around, y'all weren't here, and I was like, are they here yet? And she was like, I think they just left. And I was like, damn. And then I was like, okay, I'm an idiot. Yeah. So anyway, but I was here. I pulled up.
Okay,
but
wait.
yes,
No, that
I
makes
pulled
sense.
up late.
He hit me and I was like,
wondering.
we out there already. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop with that Eastern shit. I do that for the YouTube people so the people can get into it.
My bad.
But,
I mean, I should have known better, bro.
it's all good.
It literally said on there EST.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, I should have caught that, but yeah. Anyway.
It's a common mistake.
Yeah.
It's something that I could have easily made that.
I mean, yeah,
You know
but
what I
you
mean?
smoke and I don't. So
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts, bro. That memory, baby.
oh shit.
Nah, but yeah, as I was saying, I think that the key thing for us though is at least for you being up here, right, is I want to talk a little bit about your journey. I also want to make sure that people kind of know who you are, because I know you got some shit that you about to stir up. You know what I'm saying? You got some music that's coming. Yeah. But what I was gonna say though is that Jason was here filling up water, and on the spot, like we debating already. He's like, "Yo, we was talking about, was it Ghost album?
I think it was
Or Ray's album or
it
something?"
was
We was
Ray's
kind of
album.
debating on
I
who
don't
had
think
the
Ghost
best
album.
discography in the Woo. So we chopping it up. But that's the dope thing about being here in the Hydro Bar. We got foot traffic in here. We got people filling up. Families coming in here getting their week supply. Julie and the family here. The dogs is here. It's a family event. You know what I'm saying? So we banging out. But again, I appreciate you being up here, man. So, I guess let's. I know Grizz got some questions for you.
Yeah, I
Now,
want
got
to kick it off, bro. So you're from New York, right? Originally from New York. Yeah. When you come out here to Albuquerque, how long you been out here in New Mexico?
I came originally at 13. Started high school freshman year.
Okay.
I feel like New Mexico's home, but there were some aspects of New York that like are really ingrained in me.
Oh yeah, that time in your life definitely helps solidify the person you are.
Right.
So growing up in New York. Oh, my bad. Go for it.
No. What part are you nigga from?
I'm from Manhattan, Lower East Side, money making, Alphabet City.
Yeah. Man.
I mean, if you know about it and you know about hip hop culture, it's part of the culture. It's important. It's part of the culture. If you watch things like Wild Style, if you know the movie Wild Style just got digitized, they just put it in
crazy,
4K.
right? You see that?
So like
Yo,
that's cool. Like I
crazy.
want to kind of see it, but that neighborhood is in that movie.
Absolutely.
Graffiti riders are in that movie. Lead, like you know those people were a part of it. So hip hop was like it was there. always like in front of my face there in New York City.
That's how it is when you grow up in New York. Everything's in front of you. Culture's always in front of you. It don't matter if it's hip hop culture or whatever. As soon as you step out the door, it's there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's dope. It was in your face, but I'm from Jacob Reese Projects. Slums. There's a lot of people from there. Like, I mean, if you do your math on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, there's a lot of people that came up out of there that
True Life's from there, right?
People, huh?
True Life's from there, right?
Yeah. True Life is from there. Rosario Dawson.
Oh, okay.
Like there's a lot of different people, actors, actresses, like people that just kind of, like you'd be surprised.
That's dope. growing up in New York, right? What was your environment like? And far as being out there, like how did the city shape you as a person?
I felt like it made me become like really self-sufficient. I was a latchkey kid. Mom had me at 18 and pops never in the picture. Grew up mostly in my grandparents' house and their, the apartment and projects. And, I kind of had to fend for myself in a lot of situations. I was on the subway. My mom moved to the Bronx. I went to live with her, and I'm going back and forth from Manhattan to the Bronx on the subway at like 9 years old, 8 years old. Like you won't even let your kid play outside in 2025. Like,
for
real.
So it made me pay attention, like be really cautious. I'm like the black ops guy that's like looking at people still to this day. When I go in places,
that shit's ingrained with
myself.
you.
Like it's always been
that shit's
a part of my
ingrained with
life.
you.
Young, like so. I mean, I felt like it's just helped me be cautious of people in life, and I'm here, mad decades later because of it.
For real, man. For real.
I think it helped.
It's crazy when you grow up in like it's hard to tell people, but I know you can relate. But like when you grow up in New York, it is a dog eat dog world, right? You could get caught slipping quick. Right. So having your head on a swivel is so important. You know what I'm saying? Head up, eyes, ears open. That was probably the best piece of advice that you have that I had gotten, when I was coming up. You have to. Because if you don't, you could be food to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Right. So,
I mean, I came here and then I went back. I got into a lot of trouble coming to New Mexico, bro.
Oh, word?
It was like culture shock.
Did you feel, it's a complete culture shock. Did you feel coming up, I guess transitioning, from NY to here, was the culture shock of not doing anything? Because there's not a lot to do here. Did that fuck you? Is that what caused you to kind of get into trouble? And
really, really, like, I mean, I came here and we lived in like the Corrales Rio Rancho area. I went to Cibola High School. Okay. So you got to think from Manhattan to going to Cibola High School.
Back then it was like, there was none out there.
There was nothing over there in that general area. There's like the high school, there's a Walmart,
and I was like,
that was it
down the road.
Bro, that was like
everything was just fields of weeds and tumbleweeds and people mud bogging in front of the school because there's no business, there's nothing there. It's just open and it was all the cowboys and like all that stuff like was there. I never been around that. Guys like that actually like their dad has horses and they raise pigs and
it's crazy, right? Like, that was the wildest shit when I moved out here. People they're like, yo, I got goats and chickens. Like, what the fuck? You got what in your backyard?
But I loved it though.
It's dope.
Like it exposed me to something different.
Absolutely.
Like going and trying to catch like crawdads or whatever on the ditch. Some kid that like has been here his whole life and stuff, and it exposed me to stuff that like I got New Mexico culture too. From I felt like I had a dual upbringing. I got exposed to both places and stuff.
Nah, it's dope. I feel the same way too, man. I came here when I was young too, so it's cool because me and my wife, we laugh. Like when we go out to NY, if I'm handling business and I come home, like it's so chill here. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like you can breathe. You can out there. It's like you're always stacked up on top of each other, and people always, you know what I mean? Like you like it to a point, but then I think when you leave and come back, you're like, damn, like that's something that sometimes you might take for granted here, where things are chill. It's a little bit more lax. You know,
it's great for opportunities to live life and have fun and experience new things, and like there's a lot. Everything's there. It's like capital of the earth, pretty much.
It's the mecca. It's the mecca of the world,
and so much goes on there. But like when you're there, it's like sensory overload. Like I can appreciate a smaller environment you know, a place like New Mexico where like Albuquerque in general, where you can like drive 20 minutes out of the city, 30 minutes out of the city, and you're kind of like, I don't hear anything.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't hear anything. It's quiet.
Yeah,
like
it's dope.
you're away from people. You end up on the res or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Nah, it's dope. It's a dope shift. You know what I'm saying? But it is a culture shock because I remember like when I first came here, it's like I'm used to going out the crib on a corner. I have a bodega, a deli,
Right.
something. You know what I'm saying? And then you come here and it's like, oh, everything's 15, 20 minutes away. You gotta drive. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that
cars
culture shock
mandatory.
is crazy.
My family didn't have car growing up. You know, like we
Yeah.
lived in an apartment, and the subway's there, the bus right there on the corner. If you want to take the bus to get to the subway,
Yeah,
you know,
everything's
and
right there, bro.
What do you need? If
Gotta
not,
move
the
around.
worst- Cool.
Yo.
There's a taxi too. You could do that.
Exactly.
You know, so
Exactly.
It's like
So it's a little different. How do you see? You've been here for a while, and I kind of noticed this too over the probably since COVID, maybe a little bit before COVID until now. But you see the city starting to kind of get some wings behind it, right? You're starting to see, you know, I like to call here the Q. You know what I mean? They building a lot here, a lot of residential, a lot of commercial businesses going up. A lot of small business owners are getting their feet back on track after COVID.
right.
Are you seeing that as well? The city starting to expand and get bigger and kind of getting its own name out there.
Yeah, I see a lot of businesses coming to New Mexico. There's a lot of plans, a lot of things that are happening over the next, 5 to 10 years. Big companies, big investments that are coming, and it's good to see. Part of it's like it's almost a bittersweet thing. Like we want things in New Mexico to have us grow. There's so much here, but at the same time, it comes at a cost too.
Yeah.
Bringing in more does take away from
Gentrification's a
the
motherfucker, bro.
authenticity of Albuquerque and New Mexico culture, and the hard worker, the blue collar side of things, and when you bring in Hollywood, it
changes a little bit.
it changes things.
Sure.
So,
Definitely.
It's crazy.
It's
I
good,
noticed
though.
too, like over the last, I ask you that because I just remember like when I tell people I live out here from back home, they're like, what the fuck is that? Like, I've never heard of that before. Now when I have conversations, people are like, oh shit, I know about
Albuquerque.
yeah.
Breaking
Bad,
Bad, or
for sure. Always.
the Balloon Fiesta type
Yeah,
thing. You know what I'm saying? So we have our own identity, which is dope. So
When I was coming here, people like from New York were like, "Wow, like don't drink the water."
What?
Like the whole thing,
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
just barely learned New Mexico was a state
Bro,
before I came.
mom still says that shit.
nah, mom,
real.
hey, mom's is right, bro.
Don't drink that water, bro.
I don't drink, but you should be drinking the water in New York either. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what makes the pizza dough so good, they say.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
pizza
the water
dough,
up
the
there
bagels,
is-
all that shit.
it's
They
true,
got some
it's true,
natural, like some shit.
up
It's
New-
whatever,
upstate
yeah,
New
bro.
York.
Apparently, they got some
what it
bomb
is.
ass water out there,
what
bro.
it is.
Growing up out here and out there, right? Dual citizenship. You lived most of your life out here, right? But you came from there. I think a lot of the folks who subscribe to us and watch us are from New Mexico. What give us some insight into how did New York like shape your perspective on music, and how did it influence you and your music taste? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did that have to do with you as far as music goes?
I mean, I was around a lot of people that were like in around hip hop culture in its infancy. Not necessarily like people that were in the industry, but like when people here were just hearing those songs.
Yeah.
Just here and there.
Shit, 80s,
there was
bro. That's
already
when it was
mixtapes
popping. It
and,
was- yep.
everybody, like people, every building had 3 or 4 dudes that had turntables, in their house. And that like was where my influence came from. Like
That's
being
dope.
around, there's the guy that's just playing music in front of the building every day. He has it on the speaker. He's playing records, and you just hear it. And hip hop, like, it was just the DJing side of it that I was like, this is cool, and I learned how to blend records.
Yeah.
And then I started like really listening to it. It was like house music and freestyle and hip hop all was like kind of a thing in the late 80s.
Yeah.
When I was a child, and it gave me a love more for music. I always had music playing in my house. Like I'm Puerto Rican, like salsa music was always on merengue, and my grandfather listened to country so he could learn English, and there was always like music playing in my house. And then as soon as I walk out of the building, boom, like it was like a whole
Yeah.
other world more music. So just in general, New York put music in me.
Yeah.
You know, not even just hip hop. Like I was exposed to so many different types of music there in front of my face because it was like there was a cultural rising in the 80s, not just hip hop. It was like, I mean, I could walk to the CBGB from where I lived at too.
Oh, word?
You know, so like punk rock culture, and, you know, all those things were like in the early stage. It was like you know,
it was on the
an
cusp of just
explosion.
kinda hitting
It was an
that
explosion
mainstream,
of so many different things.
That
So
straight melting pot.
that's where I mean, I'm from the Lower East Side. If you know about the Lower East Side, the Village in New York, you know, all these, like you see Washington Square Park and all these different things in movies. That's the area. You know, we would, like, in general, you could walk. Everybody walks. You walk a couple miles, not really anything. Everybody walks all the time out there. And that's where I got to see those things more and bands. And so I feel like that gave me something where I felt like, not on my high horse, but I felt like I had something that nobody had.
Yeah, when you're a part of it, bro, you're right there. We talk about that all the time. It's like, I'm so far disconnected from that. That shit is just like a dream to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that is like,
I feel fortunate
mythical,
for
bro.
it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all, like, you know, being out there, it just seems like some place, you know, like, so yeah, I definitely
the
agree.
key word is fortunate.
Yeah,
I feel fortunate.
Yeah,
for
most
it.
def.
Like, it's crazy because, you know, obviously I think, you know, due to family situations and just kind of things beyond my control, you know, when my mom's family started to migrate out here to open up their business, it was probably the best thing they could do, because when you're in that environment, right, obviously we hold near and dear that to our heart, right?
Right.
But also there's pitfalls in those environments, right?
You,
That
you know, the
we
bucket
could've
of crabs that it is.
Exactly.
You know,
You
too,
know,
at the
we
same
could have
time.
played victim to that. You know what I'm saying? So, but just being able to have that experience, right, I think shapes us.
Yeah.
Like you said, it ain't a high horse thing. It's just we have a little bit of an advantage.
Right.
We have a little bit more knowledge than, let's just say, the average. You feel me?
Right. I was exposed to a lot.
Yeah.
It was readily available at a point in time when the internet didn't exist.
Yeah.
And you had to chase things that you were into. I know we were talking about that a little bit earlier before we started. You could tap into anything you want, and that was just like anything that was new. There's so many new things, but how do you learn about it?
Right.
You know, like you can't go to a library. You can't. You just gotta like
You gotta
end up in the
experience it. You
right
gotta
place
be-
and find
yeah,
out.
you gotta
and,
be in the trenches.
and look and call and
Yep.
you know and find out about it.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.
Being from New York, I think you probably have a lot of different influences, right? There's a lot of people around you. There's a lot of things that you saw. Who are your biggest inspirations, or some of your earliest inspirations? Whether it's, you know, people in your family, musically, maybe somebody you looked up to in the neighborhood, something like that.
Yeah.
Who influenced you the most at an early age?
I mean, there's definitely a few people. Like my uncle, my mom had me when I was young. She had an older brother, Ricardo, who was like into music, into acting, and doing different things in the neighborhood. And he was an artist and visual artist, and kind of was tapped into things. And there was several people in my building that like were kind of tapped in to culture. And like my guy Tony, growing up, Tony Nieves, like he. You know, he was the first person that exposed me to like being around, like playing records and doing those things. And, you know, we definitely had graffiti writers and B-boys and everything in our building. It's 48 apartments in the building. And it was just like a collective of different people, you know, depending on who was around, that put those things in my face. My mom even, you know, taking me to see like Rock Steady Crew versus,
that's dope.
you know, Air Force. Like when I was a child, when I was little, you know, like people watch Beat Street, and that's like a relic of a movie.
Yeah.
But that was when I was being exposed to it as a little kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
So though my mom was into that culture, it was something new. Like, hey, let me show you this. So it was a lot of different people. I got it from family and friends. So
I think everybody's got that uncle or like an aunt. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with an uncle and an aunt. It was like, I didn't have no siblings until way later, but most definitely get some influence from that. For sure.
great is my uncle lives here too.
Oh, he moved
to New
out here
Mexico,
when y'all moved out here, or what?
Years later, you know, just he ended up settling out here too. So like,
Yeah, it's crazy. I was thinking about actually a couple weeks ago. my kids' school. They go to a charter school, and literally down the street from the school, my grandmother's sister, she was one of the first ones to come from New York out here. And I believe this is around the time when my pops and my mom's actually met here. So they used to live out there. My mom's from Queens. My pops from Harlem. So my pops is out here trying to buy a bunch of Meinekes down here with his partner. She ended up meeting my mom's. But long story short, my father's aunt had a crib out here. And she would always tell us that she came out here for the weather. Because in New York, the weather's crazy. You get all 4 seasons, buried in snow, heat wave, blackout, whole nine. You come out here and the weather is just...
It's pretty mild.
The weather here is good. To me, that's the best part of living out here is the weather.
You might get all 4 seasons in one day, but you don't get that heavy, dang, it's been snowing for like 4 days type of stuff.
I say that to say this is that a lot of people, migrated from NY out here. Actually, shout to bro, what's old man's name here? I can't remember his name. Dennis. Shout to Dennis. Dennis and his wife, they co-owners of the Hydro Bar. So he's from New York. His wife's from Jersey. And he told me that in the 70s, they used to mail out these mailers to people in New York about a development here in Albuquerque. They're like, hey, if you're interested in land, starting a business, this, that, and the third, come to
It's a good
New
place
Mexico.
to go. That's crazy,
So,
bro.
You familiar with
before.
It's Car Champions now, but it used to be Quan's Auto.
Yeah, Quan's,
All right, so my mom's side of the family, they own that. So my great grandmother, she came out here to start that business with her husband. And I believe, I gotta ask her, I'm not sure, but I believe that that's probably what they seen. They probably seen these plans like, what's this place?
Let's go.
Dirt cheap land. You buy it, you start a business, you build a house, whatever. Boom.
Quan's was the first shop that I remember my mom having, like her first car. We came to New Mexico, and that's the shop that she took the car to. Was Quan's.
It's crazy, man. Shout to my mom's cousin Ricky, man. I know he sold the business, but man, they had it on lock out here. But the migration piece is crazy. Slowly but surely, everybody start coming out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's wild that your parents met out here unintentionally. Both from New York.
Crazy,
That's
right?
wild.
That's some shit, bro.
It's insane, bro.
That blows my mind because, God, that they're just out here at the right time and then happen across. You know the chances of that, bro? And then now
bro.
you here, your brother's here, bro, all your kids and shit. That's wild to me,
wild.
bro.
And honestly, we talk
Yeah.
about it all the time
Time
because
is everything.
People always ask me too, like, yo, what brought you out here? And I think it's just circumstantial, but when you think about it, it's like they wanted to kind of start from ground zero, to be honest. You'll start a business, right? Build a house, et cetera, et cetera. And you can't do that in New York, unfortunately. Like
But you can here.
Right.
And could, especially then.
Yeah.
So,
Most definitely.
wow.
Let me ask you something. When did you know that hip hop was something that you wanted to do? When did you know that you wanted to get into, when did you know, when how old were you, or do you remember the moment at the time of your life where you were like, this, I'm a fucking b-boy, or I'm a hip hop head or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, when was that?
I mean, probably like 13, 14 years old. I feel like I was already in that. I was being bred to be one of those kids by the culture, by the music that was on, listening to, WBLS, listening to Marley Marl on the weekends, and I'd be there recording every live mix. It's a world premiere, and I'm there recording everything that I can, like
on
Public
tape.
Enemy
T-Rap.
world premiere
On
songs,
tape, T-Rap.
KRS, Boogie Down Productions, world premiere.
thinking I don't know about a
I
tape?
got to hear the battles between Queensbridge and the Bronx, and and
That's
had
wild.
my uncle I was talking about, he bought me my first Walkman. That's where it started. That Walkman, getting that Walkman.
That's it. That was it for me too, man. Once I got that, it was like, all right, cool. This my world right here.
Yeah.
Let me ask you
And that
something.
did it.
Let me ask you something else. And so you came, you had all of this influence in New York, and then you came out here. How did New Mexico influence you in that way too? Like, what was going on out here when you first got out here that you were able to continue in that path instead of being a cowboy, or instead of being like, damn, I'm gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was happening out here that kept you on that path?
So I came here and I skateboarded.
Okay.
I skateboarded.
All
There
right.
was like skateboarding culture is definitely deep in hip hop culture more than people like really talk about.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Hal Hunter and so many other people that are legendary skateboarders from New York. I came here and all the skateboard kids were like graffiti kids.
Okay.
They all listen to rap music. They all listen to, 911's a joke or, whatever was on at that time. And like those are the people that I was around and they all wrote. And I'd already was trying to do little graffiti and stuff myself. So, having those kind of people, like if there's legendary graffiti writers from New Mexico, like people don't talk about that. This is like one of the capitals of that. So
really,
Mexico's tied into hip hop.
I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
Giant, when you talk like when he's one of the biggest graffiti writers in the world. Yeah, period. Yeah. And he's lived here. He's originally from New York too, which is weird. But he graduated high school here, and he did, and
yeah, he's always posting pictures. I think he moved out here for a little bit recently, like in the last 5 years. I think he moved out here, moved to Santa Fe, and then he dipped because it's hard to be out here,
But being around those people, so like the skateboard kids, and I was just, the Hydro Bar brings people in. My guy Mike Barilla, I skateboarded with him like when I was 14 years old. He listened to hip hop. They were break dancers, still b-boy to this day, like 50, and it was just, that was already going on. Like the little bit of stuff was like, it was bleeding out to the rest of the world. New York was bleeding out everywhere, so kids were already on that.
That's dope that you were able to find
fall into that with.
Yeah, that's dope that you were able to find that out here, right? That's great because you go from there to here, and you still were able to find that out. That's a testament to how powerful it is, right?
So many legendary people. Shout out to ATK. Shout out to UKS. Shout out to there's so many crews that started in the infancy that became more and tie into a lot of hip hop culture that is even around today. People that are doing stuff here in New Mexico still today. Those
crazy thing about New Mexico too is that I noticed like my daughter's best friend, she's a breakdancer. She's a B-girl. She got her own beats. She's dope. And she learned how to break dance from videos, but it's crazy how the native culture, right? The indigenous culture, like they really attach to hip hop. And they are a really big part of hip hop too, to bring it, I think, here as well.
Right, 100%.
And I love that because I've been to a couple of her, her competitions and stuff like that. And the thing that I love about it is that hip hop connects all these different people from different walks of life, right? From any walk of life. Once you connect it with hip hop, boom, it's that one singular thing. So it's like b-boying, breakdance, or graffiti, MCing, DJing, all of that shit plays a part. And it's dope that you're able to get a collective when you moved out here. Because for me, it was hard. Like, I really didn't have a collective until, like, I remember me and Jay, super young. Like, we went to school together. And me and him, that was the first thing. He wanted to learn how to make beats and do be a DJ. Right. So it's dope to have that kind of crew of people that you can bounce off of, get creative with, and have that same passion. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's fire.
When did you start writing music? When was it that you transitioned from, spectator to, a player in the game, bro? When was it that you started like dabbling in writing music and thinking that you wanted to do music?
Really, I think probably around 15. So like I had like some events happen in my life. I came to New Mexico at 13. At 14, I was in YDC, in trouble. My mom sent me to go live in Queens with my aunt. I got some more trouble out there because I was already dialed in with people here.
You had the mindset.
And like my mindset of being in two places and being around like criminal culture that I've been around, like kind of set it in. But like I went there and I had to come back again to New Mexico at a time where I feel like hip hop was like, it was like 91, like it was starting to become like where it really drove forward, like it became mainstream. Yeah. It's in like at that point, LL Cool J is coming. Like there's all these different people that were around that area. My aunt lived in Rosedale, Queens, which is South Side, and if you know about South Side Queens, Jamaica, like Laurelton, and all these different areas. Like there's so many people from there, and I got to see them there. You know, I'd be on the block, and there was guys that like you would see Q-Tip from Tribe driving in the Jetta, you know, down the block, and you know you wouldn't be connected to that person, but seeing it, you made it real. I heard the music, and then it became real. And like once I saw that and was seeing those people in front of me, and I was like, man, well they're doing it.
Yeah, I could do it. Makes it real.
And
That's dope.
And I'm a pretty good writer. I like telling stories. You know, I was like that. That was kind of my thing already, was words and writing and, you know, doing jokes and making my family laugh. So like,
was it some form?
15 years old, probably like, I'm just gonna do this. Did it become like some sort of an escape for you to write? It's like obviously dealing with a lot of shit in your environment, a lot of things in your cipher. Was there something that triggered you to be like, yo, writing is kind of my way out? Did you look at it like that? 100%, because I mean, you know, I came back to New Mexico incarcerated again. You know, like I came back and, you know, went through the system and was in group homes and, you know, boys' school and all the different things you could have in the early 90s as a New Mexico kid if you were a hooligan. Like I went to all of it.
Yeah,
and
you went through
it gave me, like, I had a lot of time in rooms where I didn't have much, but besides like some paper and a pen and, you know, whatever.
Like that.
It was just like meager. There wasn't a lot of access to much, but I could do that myself. I could draw and I could write.
Yeah, that's your world right there. Boom.
Yeah,
just dive into it. That's
so
dope.
yeah, like being incarcerated as a juvenile, as a young person, gave me the pen. You know, like it gave me something, but I didn't like take it serious. I didn't show it to a lot of people. I didn't, you know, put it in people's face until a little bit later. But like, that was it.
Did you feel like being from New York that you had to push yourself lyrically? Do you feel like you had to be, because you were from New York, did that put pressure on you to be a more lyrical writer? Or do you feel like that didn't have any influence on you? I mean, I'm sure it had an influence, but like lyrically, right? Because New Mexico hip hop is light years behind New York, different, maybe not behind, but it's different, right? You know what I'm saying?
It's just a different way of doing it, to be honest. It's a different sound.
So did you feel pressure? Like, I'm from New York, like did that have any bearing on you?
I don't think necessarily that I was from New York, but that was the hip hop that I gravitated to.
Yeah.
You know,
sure.
like
that's what made you want to
I like
in
to
the
hear
first
the
place.
stories, you know, hearing people like Slick Rick as a child, like, oh wow. You know, when you can follow it along and like almost close your eyes and like see what people are saying, like that's what I knew I wanted to do in that case. So yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you performed? Do you remember like your first performance? Like when you said earlier that you didn't show it to a lot of people at first. Like how long did it take? Like you remember your first performance?
Yeah.
What was that like? How did you feel? You know what was? Tell us about that.
It was in Albuquerque. There used to be a Civic Plaza like thing that they would do on Friday nights, and like the youth, all the urban kids would come out, you know, and there'd be a DJ, one of the DJs like from, you know, local club, whatever, Sterling Steel or somebody, and they would like sometimes have open mics. So I did the open mic, and I had this girlfriend at the time. Was like, you actually know what you're doing. You should do this.
That was the first time you in front of the whole city.
And well, I mean, Civic Plaza. You know,
I mean, but damn,
people.
Like when people come out, shit, I thought you might have performed for your family or something, dog.
It was an open mic.
Yeah,
it wasn't like like, hey, here
no, for sure. Yeah, no, but still,
I just had to get up there.
Yeah.
I think I went over like, I think it was like a BDP beat or something. It was just like freestyling basically, and I freestyled in front of everybody, but I freestyled through the whole beat.
That's sick.
So it was like, oh, okay, like I can actually do this, and you know, freestyling was, and that was another thing. Like I didn't have to write.
Yeah,
I could sit back and just make up rhymes in my head, and you know, keep myself busy like in my head. In that, but yeah, Civic Plaza, Albuquerque, probably like 16.
That's dope.
That's sick. Yeah, that's like, I mean, essentially the whole city, because New Mexico's not big. I mean, Albuquerque's not big, and you know they've always tried to do stuff for the youth, but like that's where everybody, I'm sure everybody was there. People from your school or other schools or whatever, like the people you knew, because this ain't a big city, right?
It's like there, you go to the beach, you know, like where else you go?
Right. You mentioned that you had gone through YDC. You mentioned you had been in the system, and you know, I've known you a long time, and I knew you for a long time before I knew that you had gone, that you had been locked up, right? And so, can you tell us about how that impacted you, right? Like, how did it impact your mindset, right? As a man and as an artist.
It crushed me, first off. You know,
I'm sure, yeah.
It at a point where I felt like, okay, I'm getting into an age and an environment where this music stuff can actually happen. It pushed me back, but at the same time, it made me just kind of jump all the way into it and avoid the rest of the world, you know, and create relationships, you know, with people that gave me opportunities while I was still there, you know. It became my focus, even if I wasn't like in it. Like it helped me fine tune myself.
Okay.
Because I had a lot of time to fine tune myself.
I was gonna say, yeah.
You know, sharpen the blade. What are you gonna do? You know.
You were. So you were there for a while, right? Like, yeah. I mean, it was a long time that you had spent there, right? You were writing music, because I think I've heard that some people don't write. There's a lot of people that have been locked up. They're like, I couldn't get creative. I didn't feel creative in that space, or it wasn't some place that I felt like I could write. Did you feel like that, or were you making music when you were locked up?
No, I didn't feel like that at all. I felt like I was like, it helped me become myself. It helped me like be a standout MC. It helped me like be better.
Oh, for real?
You know, I was already doing those things. Like, I mean, already doing rap battles and already doing those things before I went to prison. I had those opportunities before I went to prison, and I didn't have anything but time and music to listen to.
Yeah,
and I had access like through. I created a little relationship with the property officer.
Done.
That got me some things.
Yeah.
And, you know, all the beats are coming from my friend's studio. And, you know, it gave me chances. I'm doing, you know, raps over the phone, over DJ Noble beats. Shout out to DJ Noble. You know, at that point in time, like they pulled me in.
Yeah.
And all I could focus on was that.
Was it other dudes rapping in there too? Like, I mean, I'm sure, but was it other dudes like really putting on like...
Yeah. That wanted to do that, and there was like, you know, they have like the band room club and stuff, and you have access to music equipment and different things like that. So I jumped into those things and took those opportunities and just wrote, and you know, I was writing all the time.
That's one thing I noticed with your music, you know, when you first started sending me records, is that I always noticed that your pen was you had a lot of like. There's a lot of detail in the pen,
right.
And I appreciate that, because some of the guys that I used to listen to as a kid, I like the intricacies of the bar work, and you've always had that, right? And I think as you gotten older, you got more experiences, right? You're obviously getting better at putting it together,
right?
But you always had it. Some people don't have it right away.
Right.
First time I heard you, I was like, oh damn! Like you know the structure, right? You know how to get the bars into the sequences, right?
Right.
Do you think having that time on your hands, being incarcerated, really made you sit down and master that?
Yeah, I picked
a lot
everybody apart.
Yeah,
I picked everybody apart. It's not.
You have to.
It's not on some biter stuff, but like I'm over analyzing everybody's bars, you know, and not just like, you know, New York heads. Like I'm listening to, you know, The Game. And you know, all these different people from other places, 3-6 Mafia, you know, all the Texas people, you know,
pulling inspiration for everywhere,
UGK, like and just Scarface and picking apart, especially the storytellers, you know, that are able to get these words and write in like double entendres. Like here, you could take the story for face value, listen to the bar that I just gave you though. In the same time, talking about this, but did you hear that? Did you hear that one line?
That's
and
the
I wanted to be
piece
that guy that you had to rewind, like, oh shit, what did you just say? Yeah. I wanted to be that person. Yeah. Like I wanted to be able to, as soon as I'm out of this place, I'm gonna record music and I'm gonna have it at this level. Right. Where
when did you when were you when did you get out?
2009.
Okay. So I'm just trying to think of the time period, like the mute that was going on from when you went in to when you got out. Yeah. And it was a lot of that was like the time that. So when you went in, it was like Tupac. It was like that was like probably when the West Coast was just kind of dying out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then Texas was coming up. You mentioned Texas.
All the South music
Slim Thug, Paul Wall, all that came out while you were in. Which is a crazy period. Just a huge period, and it makes sense that you're such a dope artist, because I've seen you perform live. Like, I've been to your show and I've seen you perform live, and I was really blown away, because like I said, I had known you for a long time, and I didn't know you had been in prison. I didn't know. I mean, I think I knew that you did music, but everybody does music, or everybody's like, oh, I do music or whatever, and so you could tell that you were able to really hone in on your craft and like you said, sharpen the blade. What's the biggest lesson you carry with you, or what's the biggest impact? Like what stamp did doing time leave on you? Like, what do you carry with you to this day from the time that you were locked up, right? Like, what is it that still you're like, I learned this, or
it helped me appreciate the little things, man. Like what small things I got there, what people take advantage for granted, like I could go to the kitchen and grab me an egg and cook it in a pan, like I could do those small. I could go outside whenever I feel like it, so it really just helped me appreciate like smaller things and not take things for granted, and not want to chase like more in a negative way.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, like these baby steps or something. Every little baby step is something along the way, and let me embrace the moment of everything that I'm learning, everything that comes along, instead of just, flying through life.
Yeah.
Help me slow
I think
down.
that's dope, because a lot of
I had
people
to slow down, so it slowed me down.
people take shit for granted, of course, right? So that's a good point, but it's interesting that some people will get out of prison and crash out, and just, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy that people will get out and it doesn't work on them, right? So I think that it's dope that you were able to come out and turn your life around. What's super interesting about you, to me, at least, is that you aren't the typical, like, you don't look not necessarily look, but you don't remind me. You don't act as somebody who's been to prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't. I've known you for years, bro. At this point, I've known you, I think, probably 10 years, and I've never, I would have never guessed. You carry yourself with a lot of integrity, and I just think that it's what is it that helps you be, the type of person you are, right? Because like Vinny mentioned, you're a dope ass father. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a good person. I think you're a dope dude in general. What is it that makes you want to be a good person?
I've done a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
I've seen the impacts of my actions. I've seen prison gave me opportunities. So like, I'm my first friend group. Out of my friend group, I'm the first one that went. Mm-hmm. Guaranteed like 7-8 dudes came behind me. Mm-hmm. But I was the first person that went. And it gave me a chance to like sit back and see how the small things that I did created these big ripples. These little pebbles I thought were nothing. Like, I had influence on people in a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
On a criminal aspect. Yeah. But also on this hip hop stuff. Mm-hmm. I had people writing me, telling me, hey, I'm alive because of you. Yeah. I would have been a gangbanger and doing all these things and killing people if it wasn't for you exposing me to this. Yeah. So it really gave me a chance to think about my karma. Yeah. Like, okay, I've had these major influences. People were drug addicts because of me. People were this because of me. Mm-hmm. People were, or not because of me, but maybe because I played a part in
I get what you're saying.
Coach bringing them along.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
didn't lead them to the water, but they were going to drink the water regardless, so I gave it to them.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's crazy, too, to add on to that, bro. Like, I grew up in a family, unfortunately, where all of my cousins, my grandfather, my father, all incarcerated throughout their life. Like, I remember just getting calls on birthdays. Hey, you have a call from a federal prison. It's your grandfather. My grandfather, rest in peace, he died in prison. You know what I'm saying? No one came to help him. They just let him go. But I remember as a young age, I seen that, and I never really understood, like, until I got older, obviously. But when you was a kid, going to the visiting floor or taking these calls, you're like, yo, why are you in there? And, you know, they give you this spiel of, like, for a long time, you know, I was told, yo, your grandfather's in the military. Oh, yeah, he was in the military. He was fucking locked up. Or your pops is doing this and that. So when you start to see it and visualize it, it kind of instills in you, I think, that ripple effect. It's like, hey, whatever your actions be, you could be put in here.
Right.
And then, of course, the whole time your family's incarcerated, they telling you, don't come here. This is hell. This is the closest thing to death. You don't want to be here, right? So I think it instills in your mind of being cognizant of your decisions, right?
Right.
And sometimes you learn the hard way by, you know, either being incarcerated or sometimes, you know, for my benefit, at least when I was growing up, I had to see it.
Right.
So I was able to see it. I'm like, yo, I don't want to fucking be here. I don't even want to be close to this, right? But you're right about these little impacts, right? Can have ripple effects, and sometimes they can turn into tsunami waves, right? And they could crush your mental, but also someone's physical, right? Or mental as well. So having that awareness is important. But I think that's why your pen game is very strong, because you're able to get into those details and really dive into those intricacies. Because a lot of people don't do that.
It's trying to slow down for it. I need to give you that, or I'm gonna sell myself short.
Yeah,
you know, if I don't, because you know, I mean, I feel like I thought about that. Yes, the karmic side of it, but I was also looking at these guys because I mean, I did time with people that are like, not gonna get out, never got out,
100%,
died since I've been out, like, and I would sit at the table with them and have those conversations. Learning this man's 60 years old, but he's been in here for 30 years. And who was he before that? What were those things that he was doing before that? You know?
That's the shit, bro.
I'm getting my freedom back, and I'm going to run it for him. And I'm going to run it for him, and I'm going to run it for him.
Yeah, that's dope.
Because these cats are not, they're not, they don't get the chance. Yeah. So how am I going to get out and not, like, really jump at the opportunities or, you know, live the life that I could actually live and have that mind state. Like, I mean, not to say that I wasn't institutionalized, but I didn't go with the program. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's chow hall? Cool, yeah, whatever. Right. I'm not going to the chow hall. I'm not going to eat when you want me to do that. I'm not doing this. I'm not sleeping when you want me to do the sleep. I'm not going to do the jobs at the hours that normally going to do, or the stuff that you want me to do. I'm not going to work in your child hall. I'm not going to do those things. I'm going to do my time the way that I want to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to structure it the way that
you were able to do that.
So when you create your own routine, right, you have that's the only control you got, you know, in that situation.
It's crazy you say that.
And it helps.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's crazy you say that because shout out to my cousin, man. He's doing a life bid, and he tells me the same shit. He has to create his own routine because when you're in those positions, you are told when to fucking bend over, when to cough, when to spit, when to eat.
You can't control that part.
Right. So that piece is what it is. But for you to have that kind of own, you know, reality, or also that way of structuring your day is important, right? I want to ask you too, your influences coming up. I think we have it on the list too. Grizz, let me know. But I wanted to kind of ask you a little bit about your influences coming up from the MC side. Like, if you were to pick like a top five, you know, during this time, or even just in general, who are some of the people, you know, from an MC perspective that really influenced you on the pen side, that you study real hard?
Nas, definitely. Rakim, you know, is like a older, like in my baby stages or whatever, me listening to rap music, definitely Rakim. But Nas, really more than anybody, I feel like embodied like what I wanted to do with the kind of rap that I wanted to do. You know, to be able to paint pictures and tell stories and like be more of like the reporter that's like, hey, look at all these weird things that I saw along my journey, you know? And then like people like today, you know, I'm still influenced by MCs, you know, like Locksmith or Royce 5'9".
Shout out to Locksmith, he got a new project out.
So many different people, and to be your own character, like Busta Rhymes. You know, if you watch that man's career since Scenario, you know, right? Like in the things that have happened. So like that's probably it right there.
That's dope. Yeah, I mean those are all guys that I think really carve their own lane, but they're all so different in a sense of how they do it. That's one dope thing about hip hop is that I said it here on this podcast, but hip hop's an art, not a science, right? There's no right or wrong way to do this shit, right? And it's so dope to hear you got a range like that for sure, for sure. We're gonna jump into some topics here in a minute. I know there's a lot of shit going on that we want to chop it up about, but I want to ask you a little bit about music now. Being an older MC in this, we used to back in the day be told this is a young man's sport, right?
Right.
And I'm seeing now and more that the older cats, such as we up in age, but we're starting to really hold that torch now. Yeah. And we're really starting to kind of push this into like this whole unclaimed area of hip hop, right? What are your plans now on the music side? You got a project coming, EP, single, and also second question to piggyback off of that. What duty do you feel you have now in this stage of your career as a man, or what you can contribute to hip hop for this next generation coming up?
It's a lot. I feel like as far as like what I'm trying to do, I want to make sure that I'm giving gems to people, in a time where older people are actually standing it out again. Like I don't have a reason to go away. Yeah, I don't have a reason to stop doing this. For what? Right. You see Meth with the Pap, like all these different people who are out of the box, like Mobb Deep's album's coming out. Yeah.
10-10, man. It's crazy, right?
Come on. Ghostface album is crazy. Yeah.
It's crazy how it's wild because my wife and I was having this conversation. She's a little younger than me. And she was just saying, like, it's crazy how some of these old guys out here now, like, got Salt and Pepper, Right. I don't know if you heard Ice Cube's new album. His new album's incredible. Right. He's talking about, like, we have the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding of what's going on. We're not going anywhere. We're going to teach y'all motherfuckers regardless, right? So it's incredible that a lot of the guys from our generation aren't bowing out. They taking it to new heights. You look at Jay,
and that's what I feel like a responsibility to do the same thing, man. At the level that they are, right? No. Can I make music at that level? Yes. Yeah. And can I do that for the people here where I live at? Yeah. Absolutely. And that's what it's about. Not gonna, 2 years ago I came out with a song. I hadn't released music for a long time. It's called Second Wind. And that was like really like where I started feeling that. Yeah. Like, why do I have to walk away from this? Why do I have to stop doing this? Right. I make money. My life is okay. I have a home to live in. I live well. I can still do this anyway and just record how I want and do it on my terms. And, as long as the music is pushing me, I'm going to tap in. But that's the goal, is to like make sure that I'm leaving something that my kids can be proud of. Absolutely. Even if they don't want to listen to it today and they're just like, whatever, I'm listening to this other stuff. Cool. 20 years down the line, my kid's going to listen to that and be like, oh shit. Yeah, that's crazy. Or somebody else's kid is going to listen to it.
That's beautiful, man, because that, to me, that's what hip hop is about. Me and Grizz had these conversations too of like, when I was coming up, bro, like, I came from a home where my mom and pops wasn't together. Right. So it was like, there was shit that I learned from hip hop that I never learned from my pops. Right. There's shit I learned from hip hop I never learned from my moms, right? Yeah. So it's like, if it wasn't for guys like Nas and Kane and, Tupac and Big, like I wouldn't Big L, I wouldn't know these things, right? Like I joke with my pops for the longest. He tried to peep me on game how to put a condom on way early. I was probably like 10, 11. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. When I heard that Big L Clinic joint, I was like, oh, okay. That sticks with you. So you remember. You know what I'm saying? So there's just certain things in life that's incredible you have that mind state, because you're right. Another kid or someone younger, they want the knowledge. I think the generation today is kind of like us. They don't want to listen to the old head, but there's going to be a point where they come in and be like, I need to listen to them, right? I need to soak up this knowledge.
And in the music that I'm doing, that's where it is. I feel like I'm fully mature on some songs, but I still want to talk shit. Yeah, I still want to bar up on people and like, hey, this is still a competition. Absolutely. I love so many New Mexico artists, and I'm a fan of so many different people that are here. I feel like there's so many great artists that just haven't got the chance, that are here that I'm around. But
who you like from here?
I mean,
is anybody from here that you like that you think worthy of shout?
Yeah. I mean, definitely like Joe Speaks is an artist. The whole Mona Lisa gang, those guys are artists. Defy is an artist. You know, these guys are like raising New Mexico hip hop a lot. People that been in the culture that are kind of behind things and pushing different aspects, like, you know, Cello from Empty Pockets. Like, if you know about Empty Pockets and you know their legendary status in our state, you know, like, shout out to everybody, Small Town, Empty Pockets, everybody from that legendary crew. Those people are still here, but we have MCs like Johnny Bad Luck, and I even think just having like Johnny James around has that influence because he's talking, like whether he's making music or he's talking, like we have these different people. I'm a fan of these people and their movements and like what they're doing. Likewise. Am I always a fan of their music? Nah, it might be simple play to me, but it has an impact.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It has an impact on people around here, and it generates the buzz.
That's the key thing, is that it's got its place, right. And that's the important thing about hip hop, is because it's connecting people. So as long as it's got a place, it's gonna survive, right? It's gonna find these pockets and to do. You know, for me, I say it all the time, man. I think Cali Soul is our guy, man.
Cali Soul.
Shout out to Cali. He got a project coming out very, very soon. I'm actually on an album, which is dope. We got a dope concept that we did together. And he's just one of those guys too that I think with the right push, with the right kind of money behind him, bro, he the fuck out of here. He's incredible too. So.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of people like that here.
When's the next project coming out? I guess before we jump into the topics, talk to us a little bit about projects you got out now, and then what you got coming up that you're working
on. In the last few years, I've just kind of been on a focus of just releasing singles. You know, there's definitely several singles that you can find on radio. Find me, GIZ, and there's a lot of singles. Last full project I did was Event Horizon, probably 2017. Those singles kind of got me going, and got me wanting to do things. I didn't want to release a project. I don't want to do that, and then, you know, I got the chance to like sit down with DJ Jason and like really go through some music and like what I'm trying to do. And I mean, I'm split between 2 EPs and an album, but I kind of want to release a full album. 13, 14 joints. I've already recorded a few of them. Definitely some local features and people that are going to be on it. I recorded a couple of songs with Jam. There's going to be a few people on this project that I'm stoked for it. And, but that's what's coming. I'm hoping to have this done by the spring, you know.
Take your time, bro.
And I'm not on anybody else's time. I got to join with my daughter. I got my daughter in the studio. She's been writing music.
That's dope.
She's on the hook and everything. And, you know, that's my focus, is like, how can I balance, like, I'm a dad.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm flowing through life, and that's what I want my music to paint, but I'm gonna borrow up on everybody that talks shit.
Yeah.
If you want to create your list about anybody, whether it's nationwide or locally, I don't care about your list. I'm gonna shit on everybody on the list. You know, and that's my attitude.
You know, that's why I love you. To be honest, like that's why me and you always connected. Like,
come see me. You don't believe it? We can do it on camera. I'm still like, okay, I haven't gotten worse. I have not gotten worse over time. I've been real quiet. I came out in 2009. I just been making music. Making babies, having love in my life, having experiences, traveling and shit. I've done a lot of things. Right now, I'm like, I'm gonna talk my shit. Like I'm at a point where like that's what I want to do, but I'm also tapping into a lot of different kinds of music. Like this next project is gonna be like, oh shit, I didn't think we would do a song like that.
That's dope.
Wow, that's crazy. And I you know, like I want to make sure that people get that.
You got the right producer to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's amazing, bro. I remember when we was doing Shane's project. Shout out to my brother Shane Dollars when we would put his mixtapes together. Like, Jason was like the nucleus to the project. Like he would really kind of give us that bass sound. And we just build off of it. So I'm excited, man. I know you got it coming, and
I wanted to do this with him for a while. Like in 2017, I did a joint with him. Shout out to my boy Outrage. He's on the song with me. It's called Reflection. It was on Event Horizon. And since we made that song, that's kind of like what I wanted to do. And then COVID happened and this happened. And, you know,
life,
I lost my mind mentally for a little while. And, you know, I got split up with my wife and, you know, all these different things have happened. But now that happened, it's like, okay, now I'm lined up for this. It's like God said, hey.
Yep. He detoured you and pushed you right there. Nah, that's amazing.
And the friends around me that are pushing for it.
Listen, man, I've been pushing you too because I think you contribute something at a high level that people need to hear, and I think you're dedicated enough and you have enough passion in it for it to go. So I said it, I always say it, but you know I say it to you, man. Like again, my platform's your platform. So when you're ready to drop it, man, come through. I know we're gonna be filming a freestyle. You're gonna do something for Street Sweeper Radio, which I appreciate, man. We got the mix show coming. I've been blessed enough to be able to kind of carry that torch based on Slay, and we're going to start doing Street Sweeper Radio. So we got the drama out on Sirius, but we're doing a Street Sweeper Radio where I basically do a mix twice a month. We get local artists from here, up-and-coming guys. We get legends. I just got a freestyle from Dave East, which I'm excited to throw out there. So we going to work, and we're going to continue to push it out there, and I want you to know that our platform's your platform. You want to come up here and talk shit. You want to call out some of them motherfuckers. You want to come up. You want to promote a record, come up. You want to debate, come up. So, but everybody, I guess we'll hit socials before we get out of here. But I know we got some topics that I want to touch on. So, here's what we got. I know there's a few things we want to, I guess a few things that are happening that we need to touch base on.
Hip hop's been
most definitely.
Busy, man.
So, first up, J Electronica. Y'all fuck with J Electronica.
Yeah.
OG.
Yeah.
OG. Drops 4 albums in 48 hours.
After not dropping an album for like 10 years.
20
years.
Exactly.
You know, you just like, it's mind-boggling that happened.
Yeah. That's part of the article, right? It's been a minute and he hasn't dropped anything, and then he drops 4 within a couple of days. Did you guys get a chance to listen? Anybody, either y'all listen to him?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah, I've been listening to him
How you feel?
all week. Did you want to touch on that first?
So, what was it? Because I only heard about 2. I'm just being dead ass. But
So,
it was like quick work, 2, you know, 1 and then 1, like
so technically
5 hours
speaking,
later type shit.
So there's an EP in there. It's actually his original album that was supposed to drop, I believe, in 2011, 2010. Right. He never put it out, but he actually finally put it out on DSPs. The other 3 releases are kind of like 6 to 9 track EPs.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is new music. Really, because I don't think a lot of people heard
all this music. So I saw an interview. I'm trying to remember who it was that he recorded all this with. They've been working on some projects for a while. All this music was recorded in like a weekend. Like they did it all in like 48 hours or some ungodly time that doesn't make sense to do all this, and they had it out right after. They didn't even they recorded it and it's out.
You could tell too, because I think there were some things in the project where remember when Kanye would drop a record and he kind of mumbled through a couple bars, or he would have maybe a cadence that he didn't lay. Some of that is happening in Jay. Yeah. But see, the thing with Jay Elec is he kind of does that on purpose.
Right.
It's very purposeful. Let me ask you this, because maybe you can. I have an opinion on it, but I kind of want to get your opinion to piggyback off it. But do you think with Jay Electronica, the way he is as an MC, he's a very, very talented MC. He's out there. He's been trying to drop these albums for a long time. Do you think that ship has sailed, or you think he's still got a place in the culture, you know, in 2025?
I think that he still has a place in the culture regardless, because people wanted it. The same people who wanted it back then still wanted it. They didn't walk away from it. People have been waiting. Like, he got signed by Jay-Z, you know, the whole thing happened and everybody expected all this stuff to happen. It didn't happen. Yeah. But we liked his bars. Like, we want to hear what you got to say. But like, you should have gave this to us like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 7 years ago, but it's in your time. Like, you can't rush artists.
It's I used to feel conflicted back then with him. Like, bro, where's the album at? Yeah. Where's the album at? Like, let's go. Because I heard Exhibit C and I was like, yo, who is this guy?
Exhibit C's crazy.
I was like, what the fuck?
Right.
It's crazy because I think with Jay, his purpose in life is something that I kind of yearn to learn, because he's so sophisticated as a man, but also as an MC. And I think same thing. People still want to hear. Like I still want to hear it.
Right.
I love the album he dropped with Jay. People was hating on him on social. Like, you gonna finally drop an album, and Jay-Z's on it. You know, he wasn't advertised on it, but Jay was on it. But I thought that project was amazing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then now this one is just open. I have more questions after listening to the project because there's some topics he's hitting on that, for the viewers who don't know Jay Electronica, for you, T-Rex, I know you got some questions. He's a very thoughtful MC. He's a 5%er, and he believes he's very close, and he listens to the teaching of Minister Louis Farrakhan. So there's a lot of like UFO talk right now, and he's always been on that shit. So he's talking about like we have this joke in hip hop culture with Jay Electronica. When he drops something, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, the aliens are gonna come.
Because when he dropped his first album, Jay COVID hit.
Oh shit!
And then you hear these bars in his album, and you're like, did you know something was gonna happen, bro? He's very like he's like a prophet is the best way to put it.
Right.
So
There's
in this project, we're like, I'm like, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
So there's I'm sorry, was you here?
No, I was just gonna say like just going off like the question, you know, like the time frame, you know, timeline. Like, is he accepted, quote unquote?
Yeah.
Like I would still say that like he still has that place, but he's waited so long. Like for me, myself, like I know Jay. Yeah. By all means. You talk to even my old roommate, he's gonna be like, who the fuck is Jay Electronica? I never heard of him in my life.
Right.
You know, so it's like you have that like hip hop head that loves Jay, that has that place for him, but just your random Joe Schmo is.
But that's why I'm kind of happy he never dropped the album back then, because I think on a mainstream level, like we used to be in this time in hip hop. Me and Grizz talked about it before. Like when 50 came out, everybody was a 50 Cent mini-me. You had to have the club record, you had to have the girl record, you had to have everything street record all in one. And then I think when Jay's time was, I'm glad he didn't put it out, because I think it wouldn't have had
the same impact.
Right.
People are paying attention to that again. Yeah. You know, it's really like some of the riffraff is getting weeded out, bro. Like, let's be real. Hip hop right now is getting a cleansing. It is. And people are getting like you have to be able to write. You know, you have to be able to write. You have to be an actual rapper now again. You know, and maybe it is the good time to drop it, because it aligns with other things that are happening from other artists.
I think it's perfect because I think there's not this heavy cloud over him to deliver at such a high level. I think sometimes, like, you know, I was there when they crowned Pap as the next Nas. They were like, yo, Papoose is going to be the next MC out of New York. He's going to be the next Pun, the next Nas. And obviously, it's a level of inspiration to you, but you also have that cloud over your head, like, yo, can I deliver? Like, so I think it's a lot of pressure, and I think sometimes certain people, you know, they react to pressure differently, and I think with Jay, having Hove by his side, I think is a positive. I think Jay's finally getting into this stage of his career too, where he can talk about these things and not have to worry about it. He's already out of here, and Jay is too, to a point. So I'm excited for the new music, man, and I've always been the type of guy, though. I love albums that make you think, that there's those Easter eggs in them where you try to figure out. I've been trying to figure out all week. There's a record on there. I think it's called 4 billion, 400 million, 400. And he's talking about the wheel. You know, the UFO, the wheel, and that the government saw the wheel and they were scared to death that they seen God. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the way he puts his bars together. You want to learn more. Right. And that's one thing I really love about Jay. You know
He's like cryptic, man.
It is. And then, like, he's got these skits, bro. Peep this shit. Chris, did you hear it at all? Are you a Jay Electronica?
Nah. I mean, I back in when he was supposed to be.
You heard him,
yeah, most deaf, but so not recently.
His albums are structured pretty uniquely because he does a lot of these skits. Like, he'll have like a Muhammad Ali skit from like a boxing promo. Then he'll have a Farrakhan speech. Right. But he'll take clips that correspond with the record, and then it's mind blowing. So it's a trip, it's a journey. Some of the stuff on the EP, he's not really rapping. It's just like instrumental. Right. Someone's singing in the background. But I'm excited, man. Actually, one record got pulled off of DSPs. I'm not sure what happened. It was a record called Who Killed Michael Jackson. And he was going in, bro. Like, and I'm talking like he was going to fuck in. Like, who did this, that, and the third. You know, we saw what happened with with Charlie Kirk and all this craziness going on in the world. It's like, how does he know these things?
Right.
Is this motherfucking alien himself? But shout out to Jay, man. I enjoy the projects, and I'm he said on the album he delivered 19 albums to Hove. So I guess there's more coming.
That's what I'm saying. And then the music that was made for these albums, it was made in a short time. It's something else, but they had already been working on stuff prior to that.
That's dope.
So this is like a precursor.
Okay.
Something else is coming. He's probably gonna really hit.
I'm excited, man. And listen, I don't know, I'm not sure, who gonna be tapping in this when we post it. But Jay, man, please, man, put that record out. Pap laid that verse, man. I heard it. I know the beat was crazy, man. Like, let's put it out, man. I would love for Pap to be involved in what you're doing, because I think what he does as a high level as an MC is important to the game, and I want him to know that there's fans out here that really appreciate what you do, and we want you to continue to put the music out. It doesn't have to go 5 times platinum. Right. It don't got to be on the radio. They ain't never gonna play that shit on the radio. Right. But for us, we excited, man. So that's dope. What else we got?
Drake.
Drizzy.
Go talk about Drake.
Drake.
Your favorite, Greg. Drake makes history as the first artist to hit 120 billion Spotify streams. 120 billion with a B. That's nuts,
bro. Drake is Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
He's of our time.
Yeah, I agree. Period. That's what I say. I say the same thing. I think the same thing, bro. He's been like that.
He's the coolest kid of all the coolest kids to be the coolest kid, right? And nobody could ever take that shit away from him.
It's crazy that it's crazy. There's been people out there that have gone and battled and lost and then fell off. Like nobody want to hear from him again. Yeah. Your whole perception has changed. Even if you don't disappear, you still are never looked at the same. You know what I'm saying? And this fool didn't miss a step. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, man.
It didn't even faze him. So that's crazy, bro. Just the power, crazy, the influence, everything, bro. It's
what it
nuts.
is, though, to me, is that I think it's just a testament to him being able to it's just him being able to not let anything knock him off his horse when it comes to making records. Right. Because that's his strong suit. Yeah. We knew the battling thing really wasn't his thing, but he went out there, he swung the bat. He had fun. He had fun.
He's from the culture.
He is.
He does get it.
He understands it. And we've had a lot of discussion about the Drake and Kendrick situation through this pod. And I think one of the things that I've always kind of professed is that, I always thought if Drake needed to go there, he could go there. And he showed to me that it don't matter what the occasion calls for. It could be some hip-hop shit. It could be some underground shit. It could be some poppy shit. It could be some battling shit. Right. He could do it all, bro. Right. And when you have that songwriting ability, man, it kind of puts you in a whole nother threshold, man. So 120 billion.
120 billion with the next behind him. Who y'all think is behind him? After Drake, and it's all music, not just hip-hop, right? So all music.
The Beatles.
120 billion. Okay, Beatles.
Something like that.
Like who would be after him?
Who would be after him? And how many streams you think they got? The Beatles at second place.
90 billion.
Okay.
80 billion. Less.
I'd probably have to say Michael Jackson, honestly.
Michael Jackson. Who do you think? Prince. Okay.
I'd probably say Prince.
Taylor Swift.
That makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
It's Taylor Swift.
Forgot about Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how many does she got?
I thought either her like Beyonce, but it is
she's
Taylor Swift.
Close, huh?
Yeah, she's actually close is a relative term, right? Because she's at 110 billion, but she's still 10 billion behind this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like you're still 10. A billion is huge. She's 10 billion streams behind this dude. And One Dance is his most streamed song. It's almost got 4 billion.
One Dance?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is when I bring that record, that's one of my favorite Drake records. A lot of people don't like that record.
4 billion.
They must.
On its own.
That shit blew the fuck up, bro.
And then it's God's Plan with 2.8 billion streams. Yeah. Passion Fruit, which is not a song that I really care for, is 1.9.
Yeah, I don't even like that song.
Hotline Bling, 1.5 billion, all on their own. But yeah, that's a milestone, And I think he keeps giving people things to talk about, which is, part of the reason that
he stays in the conversation. He
100%.
figures out a way to always be in the conversation. And I feel like he's real strategic the way he goes about something, because when he has something coming, he's already locked in on something else. He already is ahead. He already knows what's going to come like next year. Like I think he could act in the fly.
You got to realize too that that's a good point, because one of the things I kind of never understood, but I think back then I never understood it, but now I understand it, is that he probably had a big contract coming in, so he had to deliver a lot of music, a lot of albums, a lot of EPs, a lot of songs. But I think he's found a way, obviously, to not be dormant. You know, a lot of MCs or a lot of artists, they go away for 4 years, and they come back, and things are a little rusty, or things just don't fit right away.
Yeah,
he's always banging out. He's always working with new artists. He's always
on the chart.
Yeah.
He never leaves it, bro. He never leaves it. He never leaves it.
Yeah, I think I think his first album is still on the chart.
Still on like the Billboard 200 and
it's crazy. Like I think he's still on there.
He's going down, as you know. We've had these conversations up here, but like he's coming up to being, you know, one of those guys in the hip hop culture he's putting his stake in it forever.
Yeah,
you know, he's on this legacy trip now. So I know he's got the new album coming out. I heard Halloween. He got the new album coming out. Have you guys paid attention to the push at all? Are you seeing what he's doing?
Yeah.
Do you?
What
do you think of it so far?
I get a lot of updates from you.
Yeah.
You know, I get the text and I jump on.
I try to tap in as best I can.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So it's wild because I'll be on Instagram, but I'll never see none of his stuff. Yeah, I think it's dope. It's smart, right?
It's different.
Giving you a little piece here and there, but it's a dope rollout. It's intentional, and I think that's what you got to do right now. You know.
So like, at least for like what I hear, everybody like, even like academics or Kai, like one of the last streams that he had, everybody was ripping him like, "Oh, this shit's trash."
Oh yeah,
they say that every time he drops though.
Every
single time.
I understand that, and I mean, what artist doesn't hear that? You know what I mean? But at least from what they're what they're saying is like, you're having these streams to preview music that's essentially going to be an album cut or not. Well, this person likes it. Here's
let me tell you something though.
Here's my radio hit.
But here's the thing. You bring up a really good point. His album got supposedly leaked. Allegedly, it got leaked. Right? There was some shit happened where a bunch of songs leaked. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, I think it's part of the rollout, because when Drake drops, you gotta pay attention to rollouts. We're gonna talk about Cardi's rollout, which I want to talk. I don't know if that's the next topic, but I want to talk about that one because there's a lot of great things from Cardi's rollout. But to me, I think Drake is testing the waters to see what is gonna work, because we are in this transitional period in hip hop right now. Like we seen what Kendrick did last year. He took the West Coast, reinvented that sound. Now a lot of these West Coast guys are kind of incorporating that new sound again. It's kind of that Bay Area sound.
Did you hear that new Problem track?
Yes.
Bro.
Crazy.
Bro.
Insane, bro. Shout to oh my God.
Really? I haven't heard it.
Yeah, it's insane, bro.
Rob, yeah.
That's
so
a heater.
I think he's testing the waters out, but I think this is going to be an album. It's either going to go one or two ways, in my opinion. Either one is going to be out of here. He's going to deliver something he's never delivered before, or it's going to be just another Drake album with a bunch of hits on it.
Right.
So either way, he's going to get the W.
I hope it's not. To be
I hope
honest,
it's a body of work.
I hope it's just like, yeah, exactly.
I hope it's a body of work.
Not just a
That's
bunch
what I
of
want to hear from
catchy
Drake.
hits, but like
Right.
I want to hear the depth. I want to hear that Drake album. You know, the depth, the way more depth.
Because that's why I think he shines. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You guys remember the song Fear? I think it was on So Far
DNA.
Gone.
No.
Fear.
Oh, Fear. You're talking. Oh, you're. My bad. I'm thinking of Kendrick has a song called Fear.
Oh, okay. No. I'm talking about Drake's Fear. One of my favorite Drake records, but he, you know, during that time, he was real vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was very much so into, like, whatever his feeling was at the time, he scrap it out. I feel like he's putting that armor up over the last couple years where he don't want nobody to get into him. And maybe that's just the price of fame, but I want to hear the body of work. Because he could deliver. He's got I mean, people can say what they want about production with Drake, but he's got 40. 40's amazing. You know what I'm saying? And that's your guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so sitting down and really kind of taking your time is the big thing with Drake. As I think sometimes he doesn't take the time to get that body of work out. It's just really about pumping these joints out and getting it out there.
Staying current.
Yeah, you know, and again, ain't
He's the
nothing
most
wrong with
current
that,
person
man.
at all times. It seems like
Anything.
No, I mean
Drake
his
jumps
social
on
media,
is
presence is just it's insane.
Yeah.
Whether he's doing it himself or the interviews or whatever, like he's everywhere.
So, are you? I mean, I as we know, with the album coming out, are you excited to hear what he's got coming?
Hell yeah.
From what you heard,
I always check for Drake, and I think everybody always says that shit. Oh, it sucks. When the only album I could tell you that I do not is honestly Nevermind. Right?
you didn't like that shit?
Hell no.
Yeah, we had some bangers on that
only,
shit, bro.
Nah, the one with 21 is the only one that I like.
I like when Drake steps outside the box because he does it so well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like when he does the R&B shit, I love it.
I like For All the Dogs. I listen to that top to bottom.
Yeah.
I listen to the whole thing, bro.
I think the thing for me with Drake, I think probably my only really drawback with him again is I think I'm just a guy that loves a body of work. So like I just never really heard in a long time I haven't heard Drake like deliver that top to bottom, like you can't undeniable type thing.
Right.
And I felt that way with Cole for a little while too. Like it was just missing that we grew up in the Nas era and like the Big era. Like these are bodies of work. Tupac era. Like these are bodies of work. But I'm excited to see what happens, man. I wonder if he's gonna reignite some beef. I heard he got a record that there was a leak that came out where he was throwing more shots. So we'll see, man. I would love to see round 2.
Does this man learn?
You gotta realize when you're an MC, bro, it's just like with Nas and Jay. When Nas and Jay went at it, everyone thought after E3 was over, but Jay still came back. He did the
true.
super ugly freestyle. He did, Blueprint 2. He threw shots. Then Nas did Last Real Nigga Alive. Like, it's an MC thing. It's as long as it doesn't go to the streets and it don't promote no violence in the culture, I'm ready for round 2. Like, let's go.
Right.
Let's go.
I mean, shit, I'm here for it.
I love it.
I love it. I'm here for it.
So yeah,
Wrap 'em up
hopefully
again.
next time we got a long way before Halloween, but I'm paying attention to the rollout. I think it's smart for Drake to roll it out this way because there's a lot of mystique about it. So maybe he can capitalize off that because people want to know what he's thinking, what he's doing, especially after everything that happened with the Kendricks.
Yeah.
So we'll see. What else we got, man?
The Cardi B deal. We got another topic. We could jump into that one if it's a better segue if it ties into.
Yeah, let's do the Cardi. Yeah. Because the rollout to me, I know we talk a lot. Giz is, I know you viewed the podcast before, but I like to kind of, as albums come out and we have these big moments in the culture, a lot of the time I like to pay attention to everything that's not outside the big bubble, but I think sometimes things are warranted to talk about, especially for artists who are coming up who want to understand the business and understand how things go in the music business. There's certain things that they need to learn and really pay attention to, and I think the Drake conversation is part of that because of the rollout, but also with the Cardi B. So yeah,
7 years, right?
Talk about the
Took
Cardi B
7
album.
years
Yeah,
coming to have that album come out for her.
Did y'all peep it? Did y'all take some time with it at all?
I listened to it. I listened to it. Am I a big Cardi B fan? No. Do I like her presence? Yeah. I love her presence.
Absolutely.
I feel like, it's like she's a caricature of a person in hip hop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like she's a cartoon character.
Yeah.
Not like, is she even a real person? Like that's, and every time she comes out, she's her.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
Unapologetically. So
you didn't hear it, Grizz?
No, I didn't listen to it. I'll check it out most definitely.
Did you have? No. So
No, I haven't peeped it.
Two things. Cardi's first album to me was really impressive because at that time when she came out, obviously she was new, she was fresh, she had that character shit that she was talking about. But I thought she was really good at making songs. Yeah. And she had a lot of relatable material. Like she relates to the average girl in the Bronx, in the hood, whatever. And she's always tapped into that. So when I heard the album, couple things. I mean, I'm more of I love where production and lyricism cross over. And I think for her, she has a lot of great records that are going to do great on radio, like she did on her first album. But she's also got some viral joints that I think are going to ring off as well. But for me, not the biggest Cardi B fan. I love her story more than probably the music.
Yeah.
Because I know where she came from and I know she's had to fight for it. But I think the interesting thing about her is that she's able to always be relatable And you strike a nerve with people when you like that, bro.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. You listen to the album and you're like, yeah, she's a millionaire. She out of here. But she's dealing with real life shit, and I love that because that could teach somebody that might be dealing with the same situation she's dealing with on a personal level that, hey, there's hope, or, you know, there's a way out of it. So I love that, and I salute to her on that. But the interesting thing to me, to be honest, beyond the music, is, man, she really, the rollout was very, very smart.
Oh, it was a great roll.
I mean, she was everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
And it made, like,
She was selling vinyls on the street.
vinyls on the street.
Yeah.
I love that, bro.
Crazy.
I love that.
Like some
and the crazy thing is, like, you know, I seen a lot of criticism online. It was like, yo, she put WAP on the album. Of course she gonna put WAP on the album. That's gonna boost your sales. You gonna put up on it, it's gonna boost your sales. Like, remember, this is a business, guys. This is the music business.
Those are really big songs.
Big songs.
And she said they needed a home. They didn't. They're not on an album. Where are they supposed to end up at? Yeah.
So, you know, and the crazy thing to me is, like, the females, bro. Like, I've had this conversation in private. Shout out to my sis Rim. We've had these conversations in private where it's like, yo, the girls are fucking outdoing the guys on these album rollouts or just in albums in general. And it's like, it's dope to me because, so when the Clips album came out, right? Big Clips fan. I loved it, man. You know, that was kind of my moment, like, because I love MCing. I love when MCing and the production meet,
Right.
where they don't compromise each other, right? So, you know, I'm doing quotables around the crib, you know, saying this, that, and the third of my wife. Now my wife's having that moment with the Cardi album because she likes Cardi. So it's dope to have that, and I think she tapped in. She tapped into something that a lot of females can't at this moment. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciated the way that she took the rollout seriously, and it looked like, you know, she out there, you know, whatever number she does. But I think it's important for artists, not just females, but anybody that's involved with creating music, is that you got to get the fans excited to hear what you're going to say.
Right.
She could have been on interviews talking about her situation, but she let the music speak for herself. Same thing with the Clips album. To me, it was in the same vein as, like, they had a lot to talk about. Let the music speak for herself. You know, she dissed a lot of people on the album, Cardi, which I love.
That's what I was gonna say. I was just reading all that, bro. Like, damn, she was going in.
She went in on a lot of people. And
I like that she's not afraid to talk her shit, though.
No, she's
I like
not.
that she just say whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't hold back or whatever.
She
just,
don't.
You know, if you got something to say it.
And the one thing I love about Cardi too, and, you know, a lot of people are probably gonna come up my neck for it, because I know we've had this conversation with Drake with the ghostwriters, and I know Cardi's got ghostwriters as well.
Yep.
But I think when we look at Cardi, it's like no one else can say it like she says it, and no one can do what she does other than her. And I think the important thing to take away from Cardi in itself is that, again, she has a way of making music that's relatable, but she's also not scared to compete. I remember when Nicki was coming after her head top, she wasn't afraid at all of Nicki. And some people be petrified of going against Nicki Minaj. You know what I'm saying? But she wasn't.
Yeah.
I love how she threw some shots at Bia. Now this is helping Bia's album, because she got an album coming out 10-10, so you know she going to respond. So that whole kind of like competition without it spilling into the street, to me, that's one thing I love about the game. You know what I'm saying? I always love that competition side of things. But yeah, she threw some shots at one of the City Girls. I think she went at Lil Uzi.
JT, yeah. JT. Well, he caught a stray, I think.
Yeah,
because
Uzi caught a couple actually.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the way she.
Yeah.
And see, and to me, when we look at
bro.
When we talk about mainstream level of artistry, and Cardi's up there, that's what I think is so dope about her album, is that she incorporates all these things from the culture into one pot as she's cooking. She's got the battle, the dish shit. She's got the real R&B records for the girls. She got the Boricua, the Bodega Baddie joint that's ringing off on social media. Like, she covers all these areas and put it into one pot. Yeah. That to me is what you should be doing in hip hop.
As an artist, yeah.
You have to, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm biased when it comes to female rap. There's just a certain style that I really navigate to. But the thing I appreciate about Cardi is that she's able to put out these big records. Like, she got a record with Selena Gomez on the album. I was telling my wife, she's been banging in the crib. I'm like, that's a record, bro. Yeah. Like, she out of here with that. She's just got so many of those on the album that, you know, she can go tour and do her thing. But I really appreciated the rollout, to be honest, man. I think that's a lost art in hip hop right now, and just in music in general, is that we got to get back to rolling these projects out the right way and getting people excited, man. You know, and I think she did her thing with it.
I'm bringing it up again. That JID rollout.
Same thing, absolutely. That's another rollout. It's one thing to drop the surprise. Like I know when Kendrick did the GNX, I wasn't sure how it was gonna go.
Right.
Because you know with Kendrick and Drake, a lot of times, like, you got these big rollouts. Eminem, too. Eminem's last roll was a big rollout.
Yeah, big.
So I'm thinking, like, surprise to me is very risky. You know what I'm saying? But he did it, and it worked out. I was surprised that – I actually was pleasantly surprised that Cardi had the rollout because I thought she was just going to drop the album. People was waiting on her, like, just drop it. I thought she was going to missile launch it. And she did what she did. A lot of press. Joe and Jada, she was on.
It's a lot. She did
Breakfast
a lot
Club.
of meet and greets in like crazy cool places, man. Like
so
really
that's
like
the way
historic
to do it,
record stores.
I mean, yeah,
like
let's bring it full circle to what I said before. You selling vinyls on the street?
I love it, man.
That's unheard of.
So, you know, sometimes people will sit up here, and I know people are going to be in the comments like, oh, the music is trash, it's not a third. It has its place for somebody.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's the important thing is that, you know, my cup of tea might not be your cup of tea. But we sit up here and we talk about it. So that way, at some point, you might be in the whip and be like, yo, let me play this album. Or when I'm sitting down, maybe I'll peep this J Electronica.
It's still influential.
Right.
It still drives the culture. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
part
it's
of
still,
it. All belongs.
and probably more than, you know, most other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that, you're going to hear that on people's phones and all this shit, you know, whether on social media, because that's what people, you know, that's what people are listening to, whether you like the music or
and
not.
it's crazy. So. I mean, you know, like I said, man, I've had convos in private, but like a lot of the female rappers out here now, you know, not too much of like the newer school ones, but some of the people that have been around for a while, like the Cardis and Rap City did a Mad Lib EP, which actually she dropped in July, but she didn't put on DSPs till 2 weeks ago. That shit's amazing. It's only 2 joints, but it's fire.
That
she's doing some great
that
things.
That feature with Joey too that she did.
Yeah. Shout to Connie Diamond. She from the Bronx. She just put out a new album with Def Jam. She's a younger artist. She had an amazing project, bro. The records are just so good, bro. And I'm telling you, man, the guys gotta get their shit together because the girls is taking this shit over, man. They really doing the right things, man, and it's dope to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Women support women.
Yeah.
So like when a female artist comes out with music,
they support.
Women are supporting it. Like men are sitting around like, I don't like him because of this, and like,
right.
It's
well, my sister-in-law, like she used to be a biggest Drake fan, and then I don't know what Drake did in specifics, but like this one incident, she's like, I'll never listen to him again. I was like, for real? That's it? That's all it takes? Mm-hmm. Some people are like that though. You know what I'm saying? Like
some people are fickle.
They're really fickle with it. I just been a big proponent. I try to listen to everything that's happening out there. Right. And try to pull the positives from. We could talk about the negatives all day, but I'll let the other bloggers talk about that shit. Because at the end of the day, to me, it don't matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If we able to spread what's positive about it, cool. There's gonna be some shit like there's some shit in a Cardi album that I thought was whack. I was like, what the fuck is this? Not my shit, but you know what I'm saying? I think when you put out nowadays the albums are so long, 25 plus tracks. I don't know if y'all know why they do that, but the reason they do that is for plays.
It plays the whole album. You get the credit for the whole.
So yeah, and the crazy thing is that sometimes it's bloated. You know what I'm saying? But I think Cardi being away for so long is, I think again people, it's not like Thriller. With Thriller was 9 tracks. You know what I'm saying? It's condensed. Bruh. She had a lot to talk about, and she hit a lot of topics. So yeah, man, go stream that shit if you fuck with Cardi. Stream Connie Diamond's EP. She got a joint with Rim on there, which is dope. Rhapsody, stream that. Bia's album's coming out. I actually like Bia quite a bit.
You got music on streaming platforms?
Yeah.
Stream GIZ the shit.
Yeah.
Go pull that up.
I'm everywhere. Look for me on everywhere. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Pandora.
What was your artist name?
GIZ. GIZ. GIZ.
Dang, check him
you
out.
You might have to weed through some people. I am fighting with a couple of I'm fighting with people for my name, really. Like
you having issues
so
with that?
Many people. Yeah.
We'll talk about
Apple has things like split up for me.
Okay.
You know, like I have an album over here that's not connected to my artist profile. Like I have all these different things that
when we get done on air, we'll talk on off air about that. I can help you with that. We can get that shit rocking. What else we got, good?
What is your? I'm sorry, but just so that way we make sure we can. What is your your photo, like on Apple Music. Is it you? Oh, it's you.
It's me. Black and white photo.
All right, for sure. Black and white photo on my boy Ghost Streamer.
Yeah,
lastly, we got Dame Dash. Yeah, that's how I feel, right? What's the problem, bro?
Bro.
Jesus, fall from grace, bro. Damn. What happened? I don't know. The topic of conversation, though, is not all the bullshit. I mean, I guess we can get into that. But the Breakfast Club interview that he did, he was getting into it with Charlamagne, and they were going back and forth. And Charlamagne's not afraid to push buttons, right? And I'm really surprised that he hasn't been like beat up more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sure. Like, you seen the video where he's running from the dude comes and punches him, and he takes off running and shit. And I'm not saying that that's right. I don't think anybody should put their hands on anybody for their opinion. But it's just he don't care. You know, he just don't give a shit. And he was pushing buttons, bro. He tried to grab his hand and shit. He was.
I didn't see that.
Dame was calling him gay. He was saying he was gay.
I seen that.
He was like, you're a girl. Or
he
was like,
went
you
to
are a
hold his
female or
hand
whatever.
and
He went to
stuff.
hold his hand, and this fool acted like he was gonna hit him. Yeah, man. So.
Charlamagne's crazy.
Did you guys watch? You guys watch the interview? I didn't see the whole thing, but I definitely saw bits and pieces, and I did see that.
I seen the clickbait shit, but I actually said so. The thing with me with Dame is when I was coming up, you know, as a kid within hip hop, obviously music for me was the first thing. But I remember I had a conversation with one of my older cousins, rest in peace, Mikey. He was like, "Look, man, you got to realize that whatever they're doing on the music side, you got to follow the money and try to understand the business side of things." So I kind of really, as a kid, as a shorty, when I was a big fan within the culture of the music, Dame would always be that guy that I was listening to, no matter what. Right. No matter what, bro, because you're going to soak some game from Dame.
I was going to say, he's smart. He's a smart dude,
smart
bro.
guy.
Listen to him talk
smart.
like he knows
amazing.
his business, bro. I don't know.
And that's why I listen to a full interview, because I hate when things get out there. I understand the reason for
they're
it.
all going to push the pieces.
It's stupid, but that's just the way, that's the society we live in. It's with everything. So you always have to dig deeper into it. So I listen to it. I got the YouTube Premium, so I got to watch this shit. So I just be around the crib doing whatever. I have it in my ear. And Dame soaked a lot of game up. I soaked up a lot of game from Dame from the interview. But the crazy thing to me is that I felt like he didn't go up there pushing nothing other than the book he has with his wife and kind of this whole notion of like, yo, I'm not broke type thing. So it was just odd that he was up there. And then this whole like revolt thing. And then I know he had the thing with Cam. So I was kind of like super confused on it all around.
Yeah.
Because I thought the him and Cam thing was them playing because
you heard the diss track? You heard
diss track.
Diss track.
You didn't hear Cam talking that shit?
Oh, on the Fantasia joint? When I See You?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
That shit was fire.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about brand new. I was like, huh?
Is that old?
No. Okay.
I just heard it this week.
You saw the video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's new. It's new.
Okay.
But
y'all are ahead of me.
I just
old news to you.
It's weird for me because I'm gonna take y'all back just a little bit. So a lot of the viewers tuned in. I kind of talked about this journey. Actually, the last video I posted was part of this journey. But my first gig in music was with Diplomats. And this was at the time when Juelz put out his first album. Jim went over to Koch. And Cam was still with Rockefeller. He was trying to put out Purple Haze. Like, I came within this time frame. So I kind of came in when things were kind of, I wouldn't say we're at the tail end of Dipset, but we were kind of like dead smack in the middle and things were going down. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And I remember one of the only times I was in the office, shout out to Adrian, and even though I don't think highly of her, and I'm not going to sit here and tear her down, but Karen Civil was up there as well. Karen Civil was up there with Adrian, and Dame was in the office that day, and I didn't see him, but he was yelling. He was yelling, like screaming on somebody like he always did. And him and Cam would have this relationship, like they would go at each other like that, but it was like, you know, they boys, they brothers type thing. So when I seen it online, I'm like, oh, I've kind of heard it before, like I seen it happen before. These guys are just bantering like two brothers would do. Like it ain't nothing serious. But then when I saw little things going to deeper, I was like, damn, things really kind of fell apart. So I wondered if it was Dame because of the business side or if it was, you know, him taking things personal. But it just seemed like after the whole Rockefeller thing, Dame was able to get his feet wet a little bit, but I just don't think he's bounced back from it. But he's going to find his way at the end of the day. Dame's a hustler, so Dame's gonna find a way to be relevant in a culture, and he's got so much to contribute that I just don't think the Breakfast Club was very productive.
It wasn't a good idea, and I don't think his
It's
attitude
funny,
towards starting
like,
it was good. Like
he's
got a chip on his shoulder.
Most definitely.
He went in there like really aggressive
went
and
in there
like
very
this is how the
defensive.
interview is gonna go.
I remember listening to that to Cam's podcast. It is what it is, and whenever that whole Dame Rockefeller like share was being sold. Yo, Mace and Cam were roasting this motherfucker.
Oh, really? Is that where it stemmed from?
Down. I mean, I don't know. Probably.
When they were talking about how he tried to give him the paper, he tried to give him the bread, he was like, Mace came through, was like, this Dame, we can't let him lose it. So they came through with the $1 million. They offered Dame
And
$1
he
million.
said, hold off
and this
a
fool was
little
like, no,
while.
hold on.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
I didn't know that.
They came back later, and then I guess shit fell through, and they came back later, and they were like, yo, bro, like, we got $1 million for you. And he was like, I got some shit working. I might get rid of it for $6 million or something like that. And then finally came back, and I guess Mace was like, fuck you, I'm not giving you this fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
like
bro, I
a
offered
few
you $1
times
million.
already.
Yeah, like, who's gonna? And so, but yeah, I seen that. That was dope.
That's crazy. Yeah,
or funny.
It just sucks because, like, at least from my perspective, and I don't know really the ins and outs because I try, like, I'm really not on social media like that, so I try to stay away from it. But obviously, we got the pod, so I want to have some familiarity of the situation. But I just feel, you know, from my perspective, it's like Dame's gonna find a way. But Charlamagne is the type of guy, bro. When he knows your button, he's going to push it, and he won't stop.
Yeah.
He's a professional button pusher, bro.
I've been there before.
That's what he does.
Like,
That's his job.
And to his credit,
The only way I could put it.
he's very good at it.
Oh, yeah.
You know
No,
what I'm
for
saying?
Sure. No hate.
And
It's his
No
job.
hate.
you know what was crazy to me that I kind of knew the interview was going to be bunk after I heard it? Because like I said, when I see Dame on the interview, like I tend to click on it. I tend to go out my way if Dame's on a platform. Because like I said, I grew up watching him, and he's more like we revere him. It's like with Puff. It's like same thing with Puff.
Yeah.
When all this shit happened with Puff, I was like, fuck, man. Is he really this crazy? Like, is he really doing this type of shit? It's disappointing because you're like, fuck, man. You're revered in the culture, but it was like he started it off and like he was clowning on Charlamagne for wearing like a Rock Nation shirt. Like, oh, you love Jay-Z. Like, you're already a Jay-Z fan. You against me. And it's like, nah, it ain't got to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's probably
doesn't
why
have
he
to be
wore
like
it, though.
Well, yeah.
Knowing
you know what I'm
knowing
saying?
Charlamagne
That's
is like
probably
that.
why
He's a professional
That's probably
button
why
pusher.
he wore it, though.
did it
So
on
he
purpose.
got it. He got the reaction he wanted. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely why he did it.
It was an interesting interview. And then the crazy thing to me is that this whole Revolt thing. So I know Revolt, Diddy left Revolt, obviously, given his trial. And then they said Dame was the CEO. So I was like, that's a great look for Dame because I don't know if y'all know, but Dame's got his own network. He's got all these movies. He's got all this content that he could put out. It's perfect.
Yep.
And then Cam's there. So I was like, all right, they're going to be doing a business together. But I guess it's deeper than I thought it was, which sucks.
Yeah.
Because them guys, I mean, they made history together, bro. They made history together, bro. But it's sad to see. But I hope that this is just maybe a time capsule in his life. He'll look back on it and learn from it. We'll see Dame again. I just hope the cattiness and the talking about what happened 10, 15 years ago, to me, it's just not productive. Like, we want to hear the stories, but we want to laugh and joke. That's why I love when Cam brought 50 to the podcast. I don't know if you guys saw that episode.
That shit was
It's
great.
one of my favorite episodes, bro, because, you know, Cam and 50 had their little beef. And it just goes to show that it's really about being competitive, but there's going to be a point in time where we come together because there's enough money for everybody. Let's come together and do something. Now look at Cam. 50's doing the paid in full thing. We're going to do a series or something, and Cam's going to be behind it, which is exactly where Cam needs to be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's going to be amazing.
I cannot
It's going to be
wait for
amazing.
that.
So I'm looking forward to it, but it was kind of sad to see that interview. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, man. Why are we doing
for
this?
sure.
Spent an hour and a half bickering about stupid shit. You know what I mean? So
Going back and forth about old shit.
bullshit. Yeah, and it, you know,
Isn't that what we do? No, just playing.
yeah, kind of. Nah, but you know what it is? It's like it's good to have dialogue, and I think Dame even said it on the Breakfast Club. He's like, "Look, man, it's good to have these conversations, and you giving me the platform. You know, I just think it kind of went off the rails. Like, he could have been talking about whatever Dame's working on, because I'm pretty sure he got 10, 15 things. Yeah, the Revolt thing or the books. You know, he's writing the kids' books, or I believe he's actually got an artist or two that he's working with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So use that opportunity and that platform to get them out there. But shit, if I had the opportunity to get Dame on a pocket, I'd fucking get him on a pocket. He could talk all the shit in the world, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I like soaking up that knowledge, and I feel it was a missed opportunity. But shout out to Dame, man. I hope Tap In is America's new network. He's got some dope shit on his platform, man. He's actually got a lot of good shit on there.
Dash like Dame.
So,
I love
but yeah, man, that's it. That's all we got.
Speaking of old shit, just a few albums that dropped historically in September. We're going to run through these real quick. We got Graduation from Kanye, dropped September 11th, 2007.
Big.
Ready to Die.
Big.
September 13th, dropped Blueprint, September 11th, 2001. Aquemini, Outkast, September 29th. Dedication 2, Lil Wayne. Most Known Unknown from the 3-6. Low End Theory.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big
Tribe
album.
Called Quest.
Yeah.
Classic. Only Built for Cuban Linx. Raekwon, Most Def, and Talib Kweli or Black Star.
2, right?
2.
Yeah, because 1 dropped in August, right?
1 dropped
August
earlier.
of 95.
Yeah.
2 dropped in September.
It's summer 95.
And then Mama Said Knock You Out. LL Cool J.
I forgot one on there too. Nas, Lost Tapes.
the first one.
The first Lost Tapes.
Definitely
Nas.
some big ones on there. Some historic.
Any of those albums stick out to y'all? Any of those like kind of bona fide classics for
Bro,
y'all?
I mean, like literally, you could say all of them.
I mean,
like September's heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, September's a big month.
Heavy.
I
man.
saw that.
There's
and
so many other albums besides that, but that's definitely
Yeah.
Let's just start with the number one on that list.
Big.
Graduation. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Ready to Die.
That's literally shit. That too.
Ready to Die is on there.
That's like,
Tribe is on there. That's a big album for Tribe.
are
Like I was talking about
yeah.
Busta Rhymes earlier.
Yeah.
Scenarios on that
exactly,
album.
exactly.
Any of those albums like for y'all that like if you could pick 2 or 3 out of there that are like really really near and dear to y'all?
Ready to Die.
Graduation Ready. Probably top first 2. Graduation Ready
Yeah,
to Die is what I
Graduation,
picked.
Ready to Die,
Graduation
Lil
was just a
Theory.
good time in my life. I just remember
yeah.
being young adult. I've been on my own and shit.
That would have to be my 2, but then like if I had to like
You know what's wild about
pick one, like,
Graduation for me is
hip-hop
that
history.
I don't know why I was like this when I was a kid. Maybe y'all could relate to it, but bro, I wasn't territorial when it came to artists. I think we've had this conversation before. Like I always liked everybody, but it was something about that 50 Cent versus Kanye at the
shit.
time. I was like, yo, 50, kill this guy. Like I don't know if I was just tired of Kanye or what, but I
wanted him to win too. I wanted 50 to win too.
I never really gave
That was a great
Graduation
release,
the time
though, yeah.
until
Like, for
later
both of
on.
them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
I
it's
never sat down
understandable.
with Graduation until way later on. And my wife brings it up all the time because we was together. You know, we just started dating at the time, and she's like, I remember you just wouldn't play it. And she loved that. It was one of her favorite Kanye albums. And you go back and it's like, it's a great
It's
album.
really
bro.
good.
It's
man.
really
good.
good.
It's really
bro.
good.
It's amazing.
But like if I had to like pick from that list of like the September like album that holds the most, it's Blueprint.
Yeah.
Bro,
That's a
you
big
dropped
one, man.
on 9/11?
All-
Yo, fuck
Right.
you mean, bro. Like just that alone.
And still sold 1 million when the towers were burnt.
yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
all
let
that
me-
was going on. He
stores
still
was
sold
closed.
Let
like
me
a
walk
million.
through some smoke type shit. I
All
need
the
to go get the
stores was
Blueprint.
closed.
Everything was
9/11.
closed. He sold that. He sold.
Yeah, I'd probably say, you know what's crazy is like I hate to like cherry pick and say all of them, but like all of them hold a special place for me.
Oh yeah.
But one of the things that I will tell you is definitely the Blueprint is up there. Ready to Die for me is just immaculate from top to bottom. Low End Theory for me is one of my favorite albums. My son looks at that vinyl cover and he always he makes me laugh. He's like, yo, Dad, what is this? And I say, yo, when you're older, you'll understand. Because I'm going to give him my vinyls. Like that's part of the thing. Is like all my favorite albums I get on vinyl that were impactful to me. But you're always like, what is this? Like it was abstract. Oh, this is the Tribe, baby. Cuban Linx 2, I love that album. I was actually listening to that a couple weeks ago. I revisited that. And what was the other one you said towards the end, bro? You said
LL.
what was one before that? I mean, that's a classic too, but
Most Def.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes,
Black
yes.
Star. Black Star.
Black Star.
I don't
bro.
know. I like overlooked the fact that we were talking about that.
right though.
That
Yo,
album was crazy, man.
Let me ask you something. Giz, I'm a huge Black Star fan. I'm a huge Most Def and Kweli fan. I love them guys. I was going through them. I was telling y'all off air. I was going through some VHSs at my crib that I'm about to get digitized over to digital, and I had a lot of Rap City episodes that I record, I had like literally 8 to 10 tapes of this Rap City shit. Going through it, and I seen 98 is when they dropped Black Star, the first album, and the high tech around that time. Were you locked up during this time frame when Black Star came out?
It was right. I caught my case and I went away. Right at that time, 98.
Yeah, 98. It came out in 98, so he got out in 2008.
Yeah.
So, oh wow.
Yeah.
So
I was.
Do you remember listening to that album Incarcerated, or would you? Okay. During that time,
Actually, no. I listened to that album right before I was incarcerated.
Before you came out, wow.
It was like, yeah, I was
probably holds a special place in you.
That album, but I mean, I was digging in on
it's crazy
all the rocker stuff at that time.
The reason I bring this up is because I remember I didn't hear the Black Star album until well after 98, but I just remember like when you go through the timeline chronologically, like this is 98, this is like J Hard Knock Life era. Right. This is like Cannabis first round knockout era. This is like Big Pun era.
DMX,
this is like DMX era.
There's so many people coming out at that time.
When I go back and watch, these Rap City episodes, I'm seeing that like hip hop was so diverse back then. Like you had just an act for it, and everybody was nice, man.
Right.
Everybody was so high caliber, like crazy with the pen, that for me that was a dope time because I love all the hip hop. So I would go and get a Black Star album. I go get a Jay-Z album, but then I turn around and get an X album, turn around and get a Lil Kim album. So there was just so much range back then, and I just feel like that Black Star album to me was like, I learned a lot back then. Yeah. Like I learned about, the whole, how Mos was, man. He was very introspective.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I just learned so much from that like Kweli, Mos, Common.
Between those few people.
Yeah.
Reflection Eternal came out, like all those
classic, man.
Like they did it, and to have like other people that were on that label like Pharoah Monch, and all the sound bombing albums and
the sound bombing albums was insane, bro. Yeah, it just takes me to that era where like hip hop was just like I like hip hop now. Don't get it twisted, but I revere the days where there was just a lot of like there's a lot of range. I feel now everything is very cookie cutter and it sounds the same. But it was like, man, you listen to a Black Star album, it's completely different from a Jay-Z album. And that Jay-Z album was completely different from that DMX album. But it was all enjoyable.
I feel like the range is still there, but it's gone way out.
Yeah.
On the edge, like I'm not gonna listen to Young Thug. I don't care about his new album. I just don't. It's just the range is out there. It's just way different and different types of people. Do you find yourself?
I find myself doing this. I'm guilty of it. Do you find yourself seeing these new acts or hearing some of these new acts and just really kind of clicking off on them immediately and not 100%. Giving them a chance?
I literally said this last time.
Yeah. Like, and I put my foot in my mouth a couple of times on some stuff, but
my boy was saying something about the Thug album. And I was like, bro, I've never listened to the Thug album. I just don't. I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Not saying it's bad music. Not saying it's not,
obviously there's a place
for somebody else. Right.
We talked about today.
Exactly. But like, I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to, there's a list of them. There's the Kodak. I wouldn't put on an album.
I'm not buying into it, man.
Kodak got some.
And
Kodak
he does got bangers.
Shit,
like, you know what I mean? But like as a whole, like as
he's an artist.
I just think that the problem is nowadays, though, unfortunately, is that the average hip hop fan, they be in their silos, bro. So like, they're only into one artist. They're very territorial. Like I think me and Grizz talked about it too. Is like there's some people who will never listen to Kendrick Lamar after the Drake, or vice versa. Like they just. Right. You can't like both. Like that's crazy to me. It's like what? You can't like both. You can't enjoy both.
Right.
But I think things become territorial, and that's the problem. I think sometimes with the game now that everything is so territorial. You either got to be this way or that way. You know what I mean?
I think that's where bias comes in though, because you know me, I'm a biased motherfucker when it comes to Kendrick.
You are a biased motherfucker.
And the J.I.D.
Well, that's why I love when you guys had a conversation because I know Grizz is the same way. He loved Drake.
Right. But.
Can you be objective, though?
Yeah.
Can you be objective with Drake?
Yeah, of course.
Now,
thank God.
If we want to have an actual conversation, sit down. All right, let's talk about these artists. But if I'm just talking with my boys and having just here's my opinion, fuck Drake.
Damn, bro. It's like that, huh?
Interesting.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that.
Well,
that's how I feel. Now, is he a terrible artist? Fuck no. Do I
You
have
gotta-
to respect him at
yeah,
the end of the day?
that's just
Well,
not
of
your cup of
course.
tea, like
Of
you
course.
said, yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Am I
That-
wrong for that? Fuck
Nah.
no.
But I think some of the time people, I listen to everything, so I'm weird like that. Like I'll go listen to the Thug album because I'll pull some shit from it. But like historically, I'll be the last on the totem pole. Like I already listened to.
It's not important to me.
I already listened to.
Right.
What was the album I was just listening to that dropped yesterday? Oh no, it was the Mobb Deep single. That's what I've been on.
Oh yeah.
She's getting ready for the Drama Hour this week, and we got that new Mobb Deep record. But yeah, man, Giz, I appreciate you coming up, man. Honor to have you, man. Like I said, man, my platform is your platform, so please, man, hit us up anytime. We got a dope freestyle coming, so I encourage y'all stay tuned to the channel, like, subscribe, share, all of that good shit. Giz got a freestyle he doing for us that we gonna film and get it out there to y'all so y'all could peep it. Let everybody know where they can find you on socials, man.
The Real Giz on Instagram or Giz Music 505. You can definitely find me there. There'll be links in the bio to access music, videos on YouTube. You can definitely find me on YouTube, Giz Music 505 as well. So yeah.
Grizz, where can they find you, man?
That's _Grizzly Instagram.
Okay. Before we get out of here, actually, I want to say something. That's _Grizzly.
Grizzly, GRIZZ.
All right, we got a new segment coming, okay? Some of familiar guests who have been here in the past are going to start recurring a little bit more. And we got a new segment coming with Grizz. It's called Ask Grizz. So I go to this guy for a lot of advice, right?
Is it called Dear Grizzy?
Oh, is it Dear Grizzly?
I think it's called Dear Grizzy.
Okay, yeah, Dear Grizzly. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
Dear
right.
Grizzly. Here you go.
But I go to this guy for a lot of advice. You got a lot of life experiences, right? And you've been around a long time. So I like to go to you for advice. Now listen, sometimes it's advice of like, let me tell you, this is why I go to Grizz for advice, because he's the only one or a very select few that'll just kind of tell you like, yo, you are fucking out of your mind. Why are you thinking like this? Yo, smack. You silly.
I keep it real. I keeps it real.
Keeps it real.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
Yeah, I keeps it real, bro.
And that's one thing I admire about you. So sometimes I get stuck in my head. I'll be like, yo, Grizz, let me throw this at you, and you'll just give it real and unfiltered. So we want to give the fans an opportunity. If you're dealing with troubles in your life, maybe it's baby mama trouble, maybe it's problems with people at work. Maybe it's family problems. Maybe it's girl problems. Whatever. Shit. Maybe, you just
been through all that shit.
Yeah, maybe you just need life assistance, but you need somebody that's going to keep it real with you, but you need an outsider's perspective. Because a lot of the time we go through shit, and we always go to our circle.
You can't tell your mom, your baby dad cheating on you and shit, bro.
Exactly.
She's going to hate him.
And llisten, the greatest part about this is I want y'all to submit your questions and your issues to us. More importantly, Grizz, because he's here to help, but you could also be anonymous. So if you really if you want something to come out, but you don't want people to know who you is.
Yeah, why are you saying your name?
You could totally be anonymous. You know what I'm saying? I remember we did one a while ago where it was like, a girl had a man and she was cheating on her man, but then something popped up where like she found out that the man that she's sleeping with knows her baby daddy, and like you just gave him great advice. Sometimes it's just as simple as grabbing a knife and stabbing somebody. Now listen, sometimes that has to happen. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
But we're here to give you the advice.
He knows. He knows.
So yeah, submit all the questions. We're actually gonna get that rocking and rolling on the next pod. So I encourage everybody, hit him up with your questions. Again, it could be something simple, but it could be a life struggle. Whatever. Ladies, hit him up. Fellas who needs a good, level-headed man to give you some advice, especially you young guys who really don't know what you're doing. My man Grizz got you.
Let's go.
So make sure you follow him. Producer T-Rab, where can they find you?
I think anything that I got is that kid T_Rav RAV.
Dope, man. Yeah, so we're going to be back. I'll make an announcement on the YouTube and the socials for our season 2. Shout out to Hydro Bar. We got some, like I said, a fresh look coming. We got some incredible guests. The barber shop, actually, who's got a calendar in front of them? I don't got my phone. October. What's the first Thursday in October? Whatever that Thursday is. I think it's the 6th. We're gonna have the Barber Lounge up here.
It's the first Thursday in October is the second.
The first Thursday.
This Friday, this Thursday is the first Thursday in October.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. The week after that. What's that date?
That's the 9th.
Yes, October 9th. The Barber Lounge will be up here. Shout to Larry. Shout to Marcus. Hey, big rest in peace, man. Ray.
Man.
Ray from the barbershop had passed away, I believe, last week. So we're gonna do a little sum up here for him. I'll be going to his memorial on the 2nd, I believe, is the date. So they'll be here the week after. They're gonna talk some shit with us, but I know it's kind of an interesting time for them. I know they need to kind of get out and have some good conversation because they lost a team member. So shout to Ray and his family, and rest in peace. Shout to his wife. Shout to his kids. But yeah, October 9th. And then, like I said, we're going to make an announcement on season 2. We got a lot of guests planned. King Bao's going to be back up here. I need to talk to him about these UFOs, dog.
Let's hear it.
Bro, like, you hear all this? Like, the UFOs is coming here allegedly?
He knows, bro.
He knows, dog. So we got to holler at him. Shout out to Johnny James and his crew. We're going to have him come up here. I'm excited about that. That'll be dope because there's 3 of us here and there's three of them over there.
All right, for sure.
So that'll be dope. We could debate. I'm also gonna do we also gonna do another episode with CJ. Yeah, he's a up and coming artist out here. He works with Fragile Boy. So we gonna get him up here as well. So we got a lot of guests coming for season 2, man. I'm excited. But again,
yes, sir.
like, subscribe, make sure that you comment whether it's a bad thing or good thing. We like shit. Debating, we like talking shit respectfully. And then most importantly, man, stay fucking hydrated, all right? Shout out to the Hydro Boy, man. We out of here.
Stay hydrated. Stay high, baby. 1.